Round one, fight!
Hey guys, welcome to Tournament Fights, episode number 7. This is our big Star Wars tournament. We're going to be determining tonight who the best Star Wars characters of all time are. And I have some pretty amazing guests joining me tonight. Some people who probably know way more about Star Wars than I do, but that's the fun of it. You bring in the experts for this kind of stuff. So we'll go around and we'll introduce all of our guests. First up, we have Marvelous Marie Wilson. How's it going?
Hey, good.
All right. And then we also have Ross Arsenault. How's it going?
Hey. Thanks for having me.
Excited to have you. And then we also have Thomas Harper. How's it going?
How's it going, everybody?
Yeah. And then we also have Evan Bushkar, a.k.a. Gold Leader. How's it going?
My dog is going nuts in the background, as always, so ignore that if you can. There's no echo on my end, right? I don't have a headphone port for these. I'm
not hearing anything, so.
Okay, cool.
The dog has a lot of opinions, and we haven't even seen the bracket yet.
He has voice during matches and stuff. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, and if for whatever reason you need to go and attend to the dog, or you need to get up to take a pee break or anything like that, we keep it casual. So I mean, just do whatever you got to do whenever. So.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks for having me. Bye.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, good. Things got my. Oh.
See ya. Yeah. but basically, this is one of the simplest shows you ever do. Basically, you just have a tournament of 64 characters we're going to be voting on round by round until we crown a grand champion. But we do have 67 matchups to get through, and so the key here is going to be speed. So we're not looking for any essays, any diatribe, like any long-winded, huge argument. You just vote quickly, and you can vote for any reason that you want. You can vote because you like the way that the character looks. You can vote because you like the overall movie that they're in. You can vote just out of spite if you want to. You can vote for literally any reason. You can make up a reason why you want to vote. If you want to throw a wrench into things, you can do that as well. Or if it's one of your favorite characters, go ahead and vote for that as well. So,
Evan, whatever you vote for, I'm voting against, so that I can just come up the gears.
That's totally fine.
You can do that.
Do your worst.
That's part of tournament fights. So I'm going to bring up the tournament bracket now. So
no, I really wish Gold Leader was a part of this.
Second.
That would have been great.
Your Gold Leader is.
Would have been, yeah. So yes, so I have it zoomed in pretty good, so we can have surprise matchups every round. So we'll just go round by round, and then as a co-host, I always elect to go last. So we'll just start at the bottom of the ladder. So we'll start with Evan first, and we'll just work our way up the ladder. So we'll let him go now.
Evan needs a charger.
I got his dog real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
There we go. We got it. All right.
But let me kind of set this up. You usually have a co-host that does all the announcing while I'm doing all the tech stuff. So I'm running both tonight. So just bear with me a little bit. But
I got a Sprite.
Reveal the very first matchup. So
nice.
We have Zeb versus Wrecker coming up first. So yeah, we'll just go around the board. We'll start with Evan. So who you got?
I just want to say I ordered a Sprite and the syrup must have been out, so it's just sparkling water and it's tricking my mind and I don't like it. I think this is actually I love both of these guys a lot. I think this is kind of easy for me though, because I really like Zeb, but I love Wrecker. I think Wrecker he feels like family already. So I'm going Wrecker.
All right. Well, Maria, who you got?
Oh my gosh. So this is
wanna-
one of those crazy matchups, but Wrecker, I have said many times before that Wrecker is my husband. So I have to go with Wrecker.
Yeah. Well, Thomas?
You know what? I have to take a stand for Mr. Garazeb Aurelios here. The only member in this matchup of the Honor Guard, and I think he takes it over Wrecker. He's got a I forget his. I'm in movie trivia schmodown world, so my Rebels knowledge is a little rusty here, but nobody can beat Zeb. He's gonna backbreak Wrecker.
Oh yeah, for sure. But Ross, what do you think of this matchup? Who you got?
Both survivors, absolutely. Both brutes, both big oafish, heart of gold, playful side, really hard. But when it comes to all things considered, Zeb's key role in that Ghost family. I know Wrecker plays one in his own, but I'm going with Zeb as well in this one, actually.
Ooh, we have a tie. Jordan, you got to tie break it, I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah, so it comes down to me. And as much as I want to go for Wrecker because I do enjoy the Bad Batch, but Rebels has my heart. Like Zeb is just like for me, he's like family almost in a way. So and I've seen Rebels all the way through probably at least 3 times. That's probably one of my favorite Star Wars properties that exists. So yeah, I got to go Zeb.
The Lasat survive.
Is this show family friendly or can I swear?
You can swear if you want. You can say whatever you want. So
fuck you, Jordan.
That was a wicked close one, though.
Yeah, that was close. So
oh man,
definitely was on the landslide. So coming up, you can see a little bit of who's coming up. So we got Yoda going up against Padme. So.
This randomizer is brutal.
Yeah,
I know, right? Yeah, you get some brutal matchups.
It'll be quick though.
Yeah, so this time we'll start with Thomas. Who you got first?
Man, Yoda may have trained some influential Jedi, but Padme gave birth to 2 of the best and set an example that everyone in the galaxy should follow. It's got to be Padme.
Yep.
Except for the part where she married a war criminal and a murderer.
right. Except that.
Don't worry about that little guy.
We'll just strike that off the record.
Don't worry about that little guy.
Ross, who you got?
Me? Yoda every day of the week. Doesn't matter. Padme is an incredible character, but Padme had a couple decades of impact on part of the galaxy. It was instrumental within the Senate. Definitely had a phenomenal relationship that created incredible Jedi, but those Jedi would have been nothing without the training from Yoda. Yoda was someone who had 900 years of impact on the galaxy, had tremendous input and impact in the light side of the Force. Yoda's impact is everlasting through the Force in his immortality and will continue to impact Jedi for eternity. Yoda is the answer. As incredible as Padme is, Padme's children would be nothing without Yoda's training.
You know, Yoda spent what, 2 days with Luke?
It's unclear.
Right.
Would Luke have gone back to ensure that the Resistance could have survived without Yoda? No.
That's true. Yoda saved the galaxy a few times, I gotta say.
Yeah, and he always will come back to continue to save the galaxy. This is an unfair matchup, but don't you dare take down Yoda yet.
Well, Marie, who you got?
So I have to go with Padme because first off, that picture is one of the reasons why I love her so much. She is such a flipping badass. And the fact that, you know, Anakin's freaking when they're in Petronaki Arena on Geonosis and Anakin's freaking out, like, what do we do? And Obi-Wan's like, well, she seems to be on top of things. And it's like, she just takes matters into her own hands and saves herself. And that happens in the Clone Wars TV show. And it happens in the movies. And I just absolutely adore Padme. Plus, the E.K. Johnston books are incredible. And I love learning about her, the deeper into her character.
Yeah, for sure. But for me, I gotta go with Yoda, especially for we're talking about Puppet Yoda. I'll take Puppet Yoda all day over CG Yoda. That's why I grabbed that particular picture. Really, it makes no difference. Same character, but I mean, just for fun, I'm gonna go with Yoda for that reason, because it's a tournament fight and you can literally vote for any reason. So.
I'm going to get a little dirty here and re-mention again here that if we're talking Attack the Clones, Padme falls though to the ATTE. Yoda sticks around to save Anakin and Obi-Wan's life.
But Yoda also says around the survivors a perimeter creates. So are we really going to split hairs there?
Yeah, Padme was one of the survivors that he had to come save.
No, they would have all been dead without her aggressive negotiations.
Oh, yeah.
Listen.
Oh, yeah.
Padme is great, as in the words of good old Tobias Beckett. She's a survivor. You know, she's great. She's wonderful. But Yoda is Yoda. Yoda is, he's great. Like, he's always the master. He failed during the war, obviously. Like, he lost sight of what's important. As he says, even in Rebels, he was consumed by fear. But I think by the time we see him in the OT, we see him in the sequels, he's kind of got his shit together. I think he's a great dude. I love him so much. And the scene with the burning temple is one of my all-time favorite scenes in Star Wars. So I'm going Yoda on this one.
With that, 3-2, another close one. So Yoda moves on. So
I should have expected that kind of betrayal from you, Evan.
Eat it, Thomas.
Cheers.
Eat it.
Yep. Coming up, we have Wicket going against Obi-Wan.
Oh my god!
I mean,
going up against a bit of a brick wall. So, but
it's like that old 16-1 matchup in the NCAA bracket.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. But we'll see what you guys think. Ross, you're up first. So, who you got?
No upset city. I'm not soliloquying here. Obi-Wan over Wicket. Love the little guy, but Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Marie, what do you think?
Oh gosh, I could go on. Well, no, I'll say this. I could go on and on about the fact that Obi-Wan was not the best mentor that he could have been, but he literally was handed a Padawan like pretty much before he was even a knight. So like he had a lot of crap to deal with and he did the best he could. But I mean, I love Wicket, but I guess I got to go with Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Well, for as much as I love Ewoks, like they're not as cute and cuddly as everyone thinks. You know, they will rip your head off and like play drums with your head. You know, so after you're dead. So, but even with that though, like Obi-Wan is just Obi-Wan. He's a juggernaut. So I got to go with Obi-Wan. Evan?
Yeah, Obi-Wan until very recently was my favorite Star Wars character. We'll get into that later on in the bracket. But he's the Samurai Jedi. He's the quintessential like castaway from the war. Incredibly compelling, like archetypal character. He is everything great about Star Wars, and I'm going Wicket. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going Obi-Wan.
Yeah. All right.
Somebody's got to stand. The vote is done, but somebody's got to stand up for the little guy. Nobody wields a spear. Nobody organizes a carnivorous insurgent defense like Wicket. So, Wicket, we barely knew ye, but I'll vote for you.
Is it not a war crime to eat your prisoners?
Yeah, show him some love.
It's frowned upon would be the legal term. So.
Yeah, right. Well, with that, 3-1, Obi-Wan and advances, or 4-1. Yep. And then coming up, we have Poe going up against Boba Fett. So, interesting matchup. So, but this one we're going to start with Marie. You're up first. So, what do you got in this one?
Okay, for me, this one is really easy, and the answer is Poe Dameron.
Yeah.
So I I mean, I love that they've included Boba Fett in other things besides the original trilogy. I think it's been really fun seeing him. But in the comics, he is a horrific human being. He is a terrible person. So Poe.
Yeah. Well, all depends. We're going light side, dark side, and I think Boba Fett kind of rides the fence a little bit. So it's hard to really say, but yeah, this one's tough. I mean, probably the toughest one for me so far. I think that I do got to go with Poe just by the smallest margin. Like he just barely edges it out for me. I just don't think that they haven't given Boba Fett really enough to do until recently. So yeah, but Evan, what do you think?
No question. It's Poe Dameron. Boba is overrated. Don't let anyone tell you different. He looks cool. I will give you. He has some really cool stuff outside of the original trilogy, but people love him because he looks cool in the background of the original trilogy, by and large.
Right.
And I like him. I like him as much as the next guy. But if you can look at me dead in the face and tell me you were not filled with joy and your eyes were not filled with tears when Poe and Finn escaped the finalizer in The Force Awakens, you're lying. You're lying. And so It's Poe.
Yeah, Thomas, what do you think?
Look, his choice in Starfighter aside, which is really unfortunate, the man has heart with family. He wears his mother's wedding ring around his neck. I got to go with my boy Poe.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, the decision's already been made, but I am going with Boba Fett, and it wouldn't be because of his appearances in the original trilogy. It really is solely his role as a clone and his position as Jango's son, and being a clone who's one in millions, but also one in one. He's a very unique character in that he has this complex of identity that really nobody can relate to, and we're finding out more that maybe they can. And so I think Mandalorian and what we've learned with Bad Batch and Clone Wars really opened that character up to being so much more. And yes, he's pure evil, and that's what's also really interesting, is to see this maybe weird change we're going to get in Book of Boba Fett, where he becomes, where it's maybe a little bit more Boba's law moving forward. So as much as Boba's losing here, and I'm not too heartbroken about it, wanted to give him a little love.
Throw him into the Sarlacc pit again.
Yep, exactly. but 4-1, Poe Dameron takes it, and we will say that we are going to take the Elite Eight from this tournament. I run the group Split on Friends and Family. We're going to throw it into a poll where we're going to have the community vote. So I don't know how they're going to feel about Boba Fett being eliminated round one, but we'll see. Might get some pretty crazy
Boba
comments.
Fett losing to a sequel character is just a recipe for disaster for some people. So
right.
I'd say you'd melt Facebook down, but it's already
there. Yep,
just
right.
Just pretend
We're
it's
already
kind
of there.
Tears mug.
Yep.
Well, who's got a tough match next?
Yeah, so we got Chewbacca going up against decision. And I guess I'm up first in this one. And this one's tough because, man, like I love this character, Chirrut Imwe. I love Rogue One, but I mean, Chewbacca has my heart. Like Chewbacca is just classic and just like one of the like best friends to have with the life debt, and so yeah, I gotta go with Chewbacca in this one. So, Evan,
Chewie is the unsung hero of most of the films. He's one of the all-time greatest, and nobody puts respect on his name. And I'm gonna do the same thing because I really prefer Chirrut anyway. I love Chirrut. I think he's so cool. I think he's every bit what the rest of the galaxies that is not like a Force user should aspire to be. He's a peaceful bystander who he participates in the war, but like he trusts the Force, and I think that's the best thing about him. I love Chirrut anyway.
All right, so you're going Chirrut?
Yep.
All right. Well, Thomas, who you got?
Peaceful bystander who will not hesitate to beat you with his stick or shoot you out of the sky with his light bow. Look. As a kid, I cried when Chewie died in the Han Solo trilogy. I never forgave that author. As a grown ass man, I cried in the theater when I thought Chewie was dead, and then got really angry at J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio for pulling that on us. So it's got to be Chewbacca.
Yep. Whoa. Well, Ross, what do you think?
I would do a big Chewie roar here if I could. I really wish I could, because that would be the appropriate way to answer this. But yeah, it's Chewbacca. Chirrut is awesome, but he doesn't hold a candle to the best co-pilot in the galaxy.
No. Marie, what do you think?
So Rogue One just so happens to be the best Star Wars movie ever made. So I'm going to have to go with Chirrut. Plus, he is just a fantastic character, and he has so many great quotes too. I love him.
So many. Well, it was a close matchup, but Chewbacca eats it out by just a little bit. So Chewbacca.
That's what he says about there's more than one kind of prison. Oh my god.
Oh
yeah.
Yep.
He's so cool. Chewie has never had a
good
line.
I've heard your look. It's not that good. You don't know what he's saying.
Yeah.
I only took 2 years in high school.
But next up, we have a Asajj Ventress going up against Bo-Katan.
Ooh, good one.
So yeah. So this time we're gonna throw it back to Evan. So you're up first.
I'm gonna go Ventress. She's taken really a cool turn throughout her whole arc. She's very tragic in a lot of ways. She's been cast away by essentially both parties, because the Jedi don't really care about her anymore, and Dooku left her for dead. But she ends up kind of being this neutral presence, and I really like that. I like Bo-Katan a lot, but people have been convincing me lately that she's never really atoned for the bad stuff that she's done. I guess Asajj Ventress hasn't either necessarily, but
I remember what happened on Karlak.
Where were you when you heard about
Karlak? No. Right?
No, I don't know. I would say Asajj Ventress. I think she's cool.
All right. Well, Thomas, what do you think?
Ventress started out as one of my most despised characters. I just hated how evil she was. The moment she helps lead the invasion of Tapoka City in the Clone Wars, I thought she was just despicable. But she really grew on me. And you know what? She gets my vote because when nobody else would stand up for Ahsoka, she was there for Ahsoka as she was falsely accused of murder. It's got to be Asajj.
Yeah. Ross, what do you think?
I'm going to keep on the same train. Bo-Katan's a great character, but for all the reasons that Thomas and Evan said, Asajj Ventress and Dark Disciple is such a bloody great read and makes her and Quinlan Voss such rich characters in Star Wars. And Bo-Katan has got a lot of story left, and I expect there'll be some penance for her dark deeds. But until we see the rest of that story, Asajj Ventress has a pretty damn great one. So I'm going with Asajj.
Yeah, for sure. Marie, what do you think?
I definitely agree with Asajj Ventress because she has had such wonderful character development, and just what everyone else has said, my vote's for her.
Yeah. I think I got to echo pretty much everything you guys have said so far. I just like how she's kind of out in the wild, just kind of on her own. I mean, she leans obviously a lot more to the dark side, but at the same time, she kind of is just on her own. And I do like how every once in a while she will stand up, like how Thomas, she said she stood up for Ahsoka. That was a really cool moment. And so yeah. Just a lot better story arc for me. So yeah, Asajj.
This is our first unanimous.
Yep, the first.
Oh wow,
first unanimous.
Sorry,
so,
Obi-Wan.
Nice.
Good job, Asajj Ventress.
Everyone knows. Everyone can feel the sexual tension between Obi-Wan and Asajj Ventress. It's there.
Right.
I'm not crazy. It's there.
No.
Yep. So Next up, we have Admiral Akbar going up against.
Oh my gosh!
The funny matchup.
Padme is not making it out of the first round, but Akbar or Chopper is.
Yep, right. Well, Thomas, you're up first. So who you got?
You know, this rips me apart. Like, this is the moment in the room where the poor man says, "You're tearing me apart, Lisa." This bracket is tearing me apart because Admiral Akbar is one of my absolute all-time favorites. I'm a big Fleet junkie, and he's at the heart of that love. But I've got to go with Chopper, the only character with Y-wing PTSD in the entire galaxy, and as Reddit pointed out recently, the character with the highest kill count in the galaxy.
Sure.
Second to no one. It's got to be Chopper.
All right. Well, Ross, who you got?
I am definitely going with Akbar on this one. Chopper has not, never really stuck to me. It never endeared me the same way that other droids have. And also, I'm not a Fleet junkie necessarily, but I'm definitely a Mon Cal junkie. Raddus and Akbar are incredible, so definitely going with our original Mon Cal general or admiral.
Yep. Yeah. Maria, who you got?
So if this had been Raddus versus Chopper, I would have gone Raddus, but it's Akbar versus Chopper, and I will say the very first plush droid that I ever got was a Chopper, one of those like plush pillow choppers. So, and now I have a whole plush droid collection. So like he started it all, and I think he is sassy and fun. And I can't get enough of him. Like when he showed up in Bad Batch, I freaked out. Like Hera was cool, but Chopper, I was like, "Oh my god!" So Chopper.
Yeah.
Filoni writing himself in the series.
Trapper Wolf just starts showing up everywhere.
Yeah. So for me, that was literally a coin flip for me. I could go either way because there's so much to love about both these characters, and like Admiral Akbar, he's a great leader who leads the rebel fleet. But I mean, Chopper's just such a loyal friend, and I love how he's so sassy and just kind of, I don't know, just like he's just a lot of fun. And I think just for, we're talking sheer entertainment value, I think I would slightly go Chopper over Admiral. So then I'm going to go Chopper.
All right.
Evan?
I missed the old Chopper cam from the Star Wars
show.
show.
Yeah.
It's like a
Rebels
highlight
Recon?
every week. Yes.
Yeah. No, I've, a lot of people they felt kind of screwed over by The Last Jedi, the way they treated Akbar. I kind of like the way they treated him because, like, he's not this grandiose, like, over the top. Like, he's just a dude. He's just a guy that exists in the war. He's a higher up, and he's great. I like him, but he's just.
It's how people die in wars. Yeah.
Chopper is like a main character for like several seasons of a TV show. And that little moment when Chopper's hand comes up to comfort Hera after Kanan's death broke my heart. I love Chopper.
Yeah, so 4-1, Chopper moves on. So we'll see if we get a good droid battle coming up soon. But coming up next, we have Sabine up against Mace Windu.
Oh.
It's interesting. They both have kind of like a purple tone going on here. So, but we'll start with Ross. What do you think?
Oh, this is a hard one because I do believe Mace Windu is a little misunderstood. He's rude for sure, but he's always right. Everything he's angry about, everything he's like, oh, this could happen. Because it is happening. You're right. And as a result, everybody hates him. And Anakin chops off his hand after he finally trusts him. And then Palpatine, he gets a raw deal. And Sabine's just really cool and likable and a great character. And we get to see a phenomenal arc of her like aging, but also like kind of growing into a leadership role, but stepping, like putting that aside for family first. And They both have great arcs. I don't want to shaft Mace Windu, but I do have to go.
No
with
pun
Sabine.
intended.
Yep.
Be here all night, folks.
Yeah.
Well,
But I'm
Marie,
going Sabine.
all right.
I'm going with Mace Windu. Just I just like him a lot. I think he's great. I really enjoyed his short run comic series. So I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I enjoyed it. So I'm going with Mace Windu.
Yeah, this one's tough for me too. I mean, I think by a very small margin, I got to go Mace Windu, just because it kind of echo some of the things Ross said. Like even though he seems angry, like he is right. Like most of what he says is actually right. And I wonder if what they say, like the rumor that Mace Windu is still alive somewhere, and we're going to see him pop up again. I don't know. So we'll see. But I wouldn't be mad if he did. But we'll see. But yeah, I got to go with Mace. But Evan, what do you think?
I'm going Sabine. I love Sabine, but that's not why I'm going with her. I very strongly dislike Mace Windu. I think Mace Windu is total badass. He's so cool, but like so are the villains in the movies. But like, think about it this way: he is symptomatic. Like he is everything wrong with the Jedi. He's arrogant. He is too focused on the war and not on the people. He's everything wrong with the Order, and he's super set in his ways. He doesn't want to hear people out. He basically, by turning Ahsoka away, he essentially doomed the galaxy because he didn't let her speak and give them the information about the whole Anakin plan. So to counter Ross, he's not always right. I love his duel with Palpatine though, but yeah, Sabine, no question.
Well, we got a tie, Thomas. So it's all down
citizen. To you. That's just such a cutting remark. No, I'm with you, Evan. I think Mace has some redeeming qualities, but largely, if he had just shown a little humility and kindness, I think the galaxy would have been in a very different place. Hell, have Anakin just ride along with you. Do it like a little ride along, like an internship. You bring your Jedi Knight to work day. Let him see how the whole thing goes down. Who knows where the galaxy would be right now? But I got to go with Sabine. She goes from a young upstart rebel who has this amazing moment where Vader is in a showdown with the Ghost crew. She literally takes a blaster bolt to the helmet, and her character just accelerates from there, pulls her people out of a veritable death spiral. But when given sort of the ultimate tool to take power and whatnot, she does the right thing for her people, the right thing for her family, and the right thing to atone for some of the horrible things that she did that really impacted her people. So it's Sabine all day for me.
And I'm realizing he is connected to Sabine. He trained the person who trained the person who trained Sabine.
Yeah.
I didn't think
there
about
you
that.
True.
That's kind of
cool.
cool.
If you trace it back, yeah. So Sabine moves on. So on the next one, we have Princess Leia going up against Omega.
Oh, don't make me do this.
This one. I was hoping Omega would last a little longer, but maybe she will. We'll find out. Thomas, you're up first.
You had to put me into the breach first.
Yep.
This is the caveat of all caveats. I love Omega. She is the highlight of Bad Batch, and I cannot wait to see where her character goes. It's got to be Leia, though, right? The heartbeat, the literal heartbeat of the galaxy, the spark of hope that kept the rebellion alive, that kept the resistance alive, and helped snuff out evil once and for all, and turned helped turn the unturnable in her own son back to the light side. So it's Leia Organa all day.
Yep. Ross, you got.
I just copy paste what Thomas just said. I love Omega, but it's Leia all day, every day, of course.
Yep. Marie?
Well, for me, so I figure Leia's gonna win this one, but regardless,
She's making a wicked argument.
I'm gonna say Omega just because I mean, there are moments where she is a little bit too naive, but for the most part, she is so brave and courageous, and she has such a good heart, and she's so young. Like, there's no telling what she'll grow into. And there's so much mystery around her. So I'm just super excited to see what happens with her and what her backstory really is. So, Omega.
All right. And for me, I think if we give it Omega a little more time, maybe she would eventually someday beat out Princess Leia. But for me, like, there's just no beating Princess Leia. It's my favorite music theme of any character. Every time I hear Princess Leia's theme, I always get emotional. Like, it's just so good, and she really risked a lot as well, and she had to watch her whole entire planet die. Like I mean, that is just like very, very heartbreaking, and she still grew to be a strong leader. I mean, she was a strong leader to begin with, and she just got stronger and stronger from there. And I don't know if any of you ever got a chance to meet Carrie Fisher. I got to meet her at a convention once, and so that was like a highlight of my life, meeting Carrie Fisher. So yeah, I got to go with Princess Leia.
If I had any more Sprite water left, I'd be pouring one out for her right now.
Oh, yep.
But I love Carrie Fisher. No, I really love Omega. I think she is the best part of the Bad Batch, like you all have said. I think she's so innocent in like a really charming way. Like, she didn't know what slavery was. I think that's so like sad and moving. Like, the way her character is, in spite of all of that, is just so perfect. Haters, just shut up. She's great. People need to respect her. But I'm going to give it to Leia, not because of Princess Leia, because of General Leia. I think her best portrayal is in The Last Jedi. You see her, she's broken. She's like aging. She's been in this war for so long. And like, you basically see her like she's on the brink of death. I'm going to defend the scene real quick. She's on the brink of death. She's going to die. And the Force tells her, "You're not ready yet." And she grabs her, like, she pulls herself back to the ship. The Force wills her back. And she's like this vital part of saving the Resistance. She passes the baton to Poe. There's that beautiful scene between her and Luke, or Luke's projection, rather, in the mines. I think that is like her in that movie is just like the perfect expression of that character. I love Leia. I love Carrie Fisher. So I'm going Leia easily.
All right. Well, with that, Princess Leia moves on. So next up, we got Maz Kanata going up against Kira. So we'll see. I think that we start with Ross this time.
Maz Kanata, a character for another time. Kira is the answer right here. Maz had a lot of potential that went like it just got lost in union disputes and holograms. And Kira has so much depth. Every time I watch Solo, I like and am intrigued by Kira more. This is somebody who grew up in the worst of environments, and they even reference things that they sound horrific, and yet this character has this stoic appearance and yet is paraded around as a lieutenant and then seizes the opportunity to rise through the ranks. And who knows what she ends up doing to Darth Maul or Maul. But Kira is a character that we've seen so little of, and yet there is so much intrigue. Maz Kanata has like thousands of years of life, and yet I believe the intrigue passes through her cantina doors, whereas Kira is the one who brings the intrigue with her. And Kira is something that we have yet to unpack in Star Wars. So I'm excited to see more from Kira, and Kira gets my vote. Yeah.
Maria, what do you think?
I thought that was a great explanation. So, Kira.
Yeah, like like I just really want to see more of Kira's character. Like I don't really understand Maz Kanata. Maybe I need to like study more about her, but maybe she's supposed to be like sort of like a wise old kind of Yoda-esque sort of character in a way, I guess. But yeah, I was never a huge fan of that particular character, so I got to go with Kira. Evan?
All right, well, I'm gonna educate y'all real quick because y'all are out of your damn minds. No, right. This isn't a pity party vote. I'm going Maz Kanata because she has two of the greatest bits of dialogue in the films. When she talks to Finn about living long enough to see the same eyes in different people, that's a beautiful scene. Also, when she tells Rey that the light has always been there, and I love her character. She's like, I do admit she kind of gets sidelined in the next couple movies, but I think that she does such a great job in The Force Awakens that, yeah, I easily Maz for me.
All right, Thomas.
You know, Maz, it's a shame because effectively she's a vehicle for some exposition in the last movies. So I might revisit this vote later down the line. But Kira was amazing in the Most Wanted book. For nothing else, that scene where she just runs down the ramp with the Falcon on Kessel and just hurls grenades, like that gets my vote.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I hope someday, somewhere, we get to see what's going to happen between Kira and Maul. Well, I really hope. We'll see. But moving on, we got Jyn Erso and K2SO.
So Rogue One duel.
Yeah. So we'll throw it to Marie first. You're up. So who do you got?
Okay, I love K2SO, and when I saw Rogue One in theaters with my parents, when K2SO is dying, my mom looked at me and she was like, "They're not gonna kill him, are they?" And it was the sweetest, most I loved that a droid had caught her heart. It was so adorable. But Jyn Erso's speech, and I read an article recently that said the speech wasn't earned, and I'm like, you want to fight me on this one? Like, her speech to the Rebel Council on Yavin 4 is one of the most intense and powerful things. Oh my God, I just love her so much. So, Jyn.
Yeah, this one's tough because these are like literally are the two characters like why I love Rogue One so much. Like, I mean, so it's a tough one. I mean, I do love Donnie Yen too in there. I mean, he's awesome too. He's probably my next one, I'd say. But I mean, yeah, this one's tough. I think I gotta go Jyn Erso by just a little bit. But it was heartbreaking when K2SO died. I was with a good friend, and like she really like she's like, I'm gonna cry, like they're gonna kill him, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta go Jyn. And Evan.
All right, I'm gonna go K2SO here. I think he does a lot. I love the idea of a droid who's just brutally honest, like because it's literally his programming. Like he can't help it. But also the little bit and it's a scene with Jyn too, when she gives him a blaster and he says that her behavior is continually unexpected. That's like the little bits like that are really, you will find throughout the rest of this. That is what gets to me. It's just this little things. So, and K2SO's death was, I think, the first time in the films that we really saw like a permanent droid death. And I thought that was really meaningful. That he was the first. He was the first one, and he sacrificed himself.
You didn't shed a tear for R4P17.
Oh, I thought you were
she got her poor head. She got her poor head chopped off.
Not quite. I felt more sad for
or R5. You could. I mean, R5 didn't die, but still.
Yeah.
I guess we don't know if he died or not.
Yeah.
It's up in the air.
Well, Thomas, who do you got here?
I'll go with K2. I love this byproduct of his reprogramming, just making him completely unpredictable. And I especially love like the role playing that he does on Jeddah to try to like save this situation as they run into that stormtrooper patrol. Like Jin doesn't know what to do, Cassian doesn't know what to do, and he's there like play acting as a droid. He's like, oh, I'm taking them to imprison them in prison. And that slap moment, Alan Tudyk's brilliant, but that slap moment is one of the best moments in any Star Wars movie. And then he comes back and apologizes for it down the line. It's got to be K2.
Yep. Well, Ross, you got the tiebreaker vote. So who you got?
There is no Horizon. Full comeback, K2SO, and everything that Thomas and Evan said, I would agree with. Really, I've struggled to relate with Jin. I've always felt Jin to be just so angsty, and I get why she's angsty. It completely makes sense, and she even says it like, "I rebel." It makes complete sense, but in that same vein, everything you've said about K2SO's programming, and then going against logic and choosing to lock in Cassian and Jin in the vault to protect them, so it continually surprises us. And then I think that's a really nice kind of self-fulfilling prophecy of that character. And so yeah, K2SO wins that one for me.
Well, K2SO advances, and I'm not mad about it. I'm totally happy. So let's go. K2SO.
Those droids are terrifying to fight in Fallen Order.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
That's the little rebel fanfare when he goes and hacks into him.
Yeah.
That's the best though, because then they fight for you.
Yes, it's awesome. It's so cool.
Yeah. So next up we have Jabba the Hutt going up against Hondo.
Oh man.
And I want to give a little shout out to a couple of characters who didn't make it. That's why I chose the particular picture. We have Bib, and then we also have Salacious Crumb there. So yeah, they sadly didn't make the list, but yeah, we'll go with Jabba versus Hondo. So we will start with Ross. Who you got?
I love Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt is so menacing and daunting, and creates a lot of intensity around some truly important scenes in Star Wars. But Hondo, in my opinion, is the answer here. Hondo is one of the best additions to Star Wars in just in terms of broadening the galaxy, in terms of a creative character, something that is a pirate, but is unique in this lovably evil way that is also so fitting with Star Wars. As someone who grew up on Winnie the Pooh, having Jim Cummings do the voice is also really cool. And Hondo is just like, this venture is no longer profitable. And the fact that he's like hosting Galaxy's Edge, and this is a character who feels like he's been around since the original trilogy, and he shouldn't have earned that, but he absolutely has through the time we spent through Clone Wars, and then through his weird relationship with Ezra. And so I love Hondo, and I'm going with Hondo.
All right. Well, Marie, what you got here?
Oh, definitely Hondo. I have to say that one of probably my favorite bit of print media that has come out in canon is the junior reader novel Pirate's Prize.
Is this just me? Can nobody hear anybody?
No,
I
can hear everybody.
Hear people.
I can hear everybody.
Okay.
Is it working now? Is everybody back?
We can hear you.
Yeah.
It glitched out. I didn't mean to cut everybody off. I'm sorry.
So Pirate's Prize is written from Hondo's point of view, and it's perfection. Hondo is perfection. I love him so much. He is hysterical and fun and ridiculous, and I just can't get enough of him.
Well, now I have some new material I got to go check out. I got to go check out Pirate's Prize. That sounds like a lot of fun.
That's very good.
Yeah.
And also too, like I just think that the Hondo's so much fun. Like I just think that like he's just such a Weasley little character that's just out for himself and for money and then any way that he can gain something for himself. And I do want to see an underground gangster movie all about the Hutts, I think that would be an awesome movie to see sometime. But I mean, I think it's got to be a Hondo for me. So we'll go with Hondo. Evan, you got it.
I'm also gonna go Hondo, if not only for the line, "Insolence, we're pirates. We don't even know what that word means." I think is one of the greatest things, one of the greatest rebuttals, and he says it to a fucking Sith Lord too. So he's pure comic gold. Like
very true.
I like Jabba, but yeah. Also, where's Zero the Hutt on this list? I'm asking.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Evan, we don't need him on this list.
Of course not.
Oh my god.
Thomas, what do you think?
What does he say? Speak softly and carry a big tank. It's got to be Hondo Ohnaka. Don't think that Salacious Crumb edges the needle toward Jabba, because Hondo has his own pet Kowakian monkey lizard. So he's got you covered there. This is somebody that went from a despicable guy trying to shake down poor farmers on Felucia to being a near child killer in almost killing Ahsoka and a bunch of other Padawans, to being the only pirate who managed to capture Count Dooku, Anakin, and Obi-Wan. That's real skill, and he still manages to have a bit of good somewhere in the heart, and is sort of instrumental in helping save the galaxy down the line in Rebels. So Hondo.
That episode of comedy
Full
gold.
sweep.
Yep. Clean sweep for Hondo. So. All right. Yep. So went on to the next matchup. We got Captain Rex versus Cassian Andor.
Oh, damn.
Yep, Captain Rex was one that you guys fought to be on the list, and I totally forgot about him. So yeah, I thought he had to be on there. But Maria, you're up first. So who you got?
I'm gonna
there's
have
only
to.
one answer.
I'm gonna have to go with really awesome moving speeches again and go with Cassian.
Yeah.
So I gotta go with my Rogue One. So
yeah, I just think
And I was just gonna say the upcoming show. That's the one I'm most excited about is Andor. So I'm like, when that news came out, I lost it. So I'm just definitely Cassian.
Yeah. Well, for me, like I wasn't like as huge in him when I watched the Clone Wars, but when I started seeing him pop up in Rebels, like that's where I really started to love him, his character, and like Captain Rex, I think is just an awesome character. I like Cassian Andor. I'm excited for the show, definitely, but I mean, I think that I gotta go with Captain Rex here, and I do have to say that's pretty awesome. Thomas, that you cosplay as Captain Rex in the 501st Legion. I think that's freaking awesome. So yeah, that picture that you sent to the group chat kind of swayed me to put him on the list.
Yeah, I think you know where my loyalties lie. Look, if the moment during season 7 of Clone Wars where the Rex receives the order and he turns around and his blasters are just shaking in his hands as he tries to resist the order and give Ahsoka a chance, like a moment to escape. If that doesn't bring you to near tears or just make your hair stand on end, I don't know what will. There are too many moments to count with Rex and how instrumental he's been for the galaxy as a whole. Captain Rex all day.
Well, guys, just like in the Star Wars tournament, Thomas skipped over me. So I'm gonna go back.
That's all right.
And I'm gonna also heap praises on the Captain Rex. It's crazy to think at one point he said good soldiers follow orders. Like that was something that Rex believed at the beginning of the Clone Wars, and now think of how far he's come. It's Rex all day. I love the speech that Cassian gives in Rogue One. Is one of my favorite scenes in any Star Wars movie. The whole thing of like I couldn't face myself if I gave up now is like that line gives me goosebumps every time I hear it. It's beautiful. But Rex all the way.
Yeah.
And yes, wait, Thomas, in the season 7 finale, Rex has some great, good ass moments. The part when
she's not a Jedi.
Well, no, oh yeah, it's true.
Technically,
great negotiating.
Technically,
technique. But that moment when Ahsoka takes off his helmet, and he's like, he doesn't even want to look at her in the eye. Like your heart just breaks. Like he's like a little puppy. Like you don't want him to be put in this position where he might have to kill his brothers. It's fucked up. It's great.
Well, I mean, it all ends with him putting his shovels on the side of the Y-wing. I mean, he just buries like so many of them. Captain Rex has such an incredible story, and like you guys said, Rebels and Clone Wars Season 7 is probably the best parts of it. But the fact that you get to see so much of the time he spends with Ahsoka and Anakin and those key relationships there, it makes it for Captain Rex for me. Cassian's great. I am excited for Andor. I'm really excited for a spy show. But just in terms of the amount of time that I've spent loving Rex, with the amount of time we get to spend with him, he just has to take it for me.
Yep. All right. Well, with that, Captain Rex moves on, and we'll move on to the next matchup. We have Count Dooku going up against Grogu. This matchup makes me laugh, but yeah. And I think I'm up first, so I mean, for me, like I just thought that they hit it out of the park when it comes to Grogu, like just every single scene that he's in, I'm just smiling and just laughing and just eating it up. Like even like it's just a baby like on screen, just kind of just doing his thing, and I think that it's awesome. And you can see that it's more than just a baby. Like he's up to some things in The Mandalorian. So I mean, yeah, I mean, you went up against a Sith Lord like Count Dooku. I got to go with Grogu. Evan, what do you think?
I thought this was easy, but then I realized Grogu's going up against Dooku. I thought it was an easy takeaway for Dooku, but then I'm like, oh wait, why am I being so precious about Count Dooku? I mean, Dooku's cool. Don't get me wrong, but there's so many little beautiful moments of Grogu. I really hope he stays out of the show. Like I think that was such a perfect ending for his character. Like just that last little glance between him and Mando is so emotional for me. It's Grogu for me actually.
All right, Thomas, you got?
I'm gonna go with an out of universe justification for mine, and it's gonna be Count Dooku. When I was deployed to Afghanistan, in my free time, the limited bit that I had, I wrote a cold letter to Christopher Lee. He was pushing 90 at the time. He was only going to live for another couple years in retrospect. But I sent a letter to him, just explained what a huge fan I was, this, that, and the other. And wouldn't you know it, at 88, 89 years old, he wrote back and sent me an autographed picture of Dooku.
Oh, awesome.
The man, if you ever get a chance to learn about Christopher Lee's history and like just his background, his service in World War II, this man was like a model human being and just a phenomenal person who is dedicated to his country and whatnot. And he happened to play an amazing character, albeit a really despicably evil one. So, I will give you one in-universe explanation. Any guy that can look at the Jedi Order and take honest stock of his moral, of his moral issues with the Order and his disagreements with the Order, and have the gumption to walk away, that's somebody to respect, regardless of whether you agree with him.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Ross?
Well, that's an extremely good argument for the person. Dooku walked away and into the arms of darkness. But, I mean... Look how effing cute that guy is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Exactly. Look at that.
I mean, I've got the little dude on my desk all day long because you just look up and you just smile because it's so incredible how much character is in something that is not real. And the fact that they're able to act alongside him, and the fact that he's probably the funniest character in Star Wars, and the cutest at the same time, but maybe one of the ones with also the most intrigue behind him. He's got, like Evan said, a phenomenal ending to his story, but it's definitely not the end of his story. And when's that going to pick back up again? And so, yeah, this is Dooku's phenomenal, but slam dunk for Grogu.
Yep, definitely. Maria, what do you think?
I'm going with, well, first off, I want to say Grogu is super cute, but have any of you ever zoomed in on his teeth?
Yep.
No.
His teeth are terrifying. Like the stuff
Jedi
of
dental work.
nightmares. And but besides that, I really like Count Dooku because he's such a complex character, super complex. And Dooku Jedi Lost, the audio drama, just like deepened his character so much, and I find him fascinating. So I'm gonna go with Dooku.
Marie's about to reveal that her favorite character is the scout trooper that punched Grogu.
Right. Well, not quite enough votes for Count Dooku, so Grogu moves on next round. So, who we got next? We got Anakin going up against BB-8. Kind of an interesting matchup. So, two totally different characters. So it is Evan first. Yep.
It is fitting that BB-8 is shaped like a ball because he is getting dunked on this one.
Yeah.
Anakin Skywalker is the classic hero turned villain turned hero. It is such an incredible, timeless story. It's tragic. It's like, I can't imagine being a kid watching the movies without knowing what happens and then like seeing what he becomes. I bet that would be that'd be horrible. Like that would be so sad. I love Anakin. I love BB-8 too. Don't get me wrong, but like Anakin is he's Star Wars. He's the person that is Star Wars. So I've given it to him.
I got to make the caveat here right now because I made in the argument prior to this and I lost. You can't say that. Anakin is a good guy. Anakin did not turn bad. Anakin is a good guy only.
Well, Anakin did turn bad. He didn't die. No.
Well,
Anakin Raiders.
No.
Maybe that's a Darth Vader moment, or under those circumstances, then yeah, maybe you can count that part of Anakin. Sure. But what I'm saying is, with Darth Vader on this list, yes, this is a slam dunk. Of course, it's Anakin Skywalker, and I didn't mean to kind of cut in line here, but I did want to preface this in saying that we cannot include his Darth Vaderly deeds in evaluating him here, and we can't include Anakin Skywalker in Darth Vader.
See, that's Anakin.
It makes it really hard, or else it changes things. But it's a caveat to consider.
Anakin is such a great guy. It's a shame that he died on Coruscant, guys. Am I right? Am I right?
Well, that's why I gave him the blue lightsaber. So
yeah, that's true.
Because
that's fair. That's fair.
Because he is good. But
we're going by Obi-Wan's shitty logic that he's two people
from a certain point of view.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan's a liar.
Yeah. Thomas, what do you think?
All due respect to BB-8, but he could be launched into the sun for this one. We can have a debate about the finer points of Anakin in a later round, but Anakin moves on.
Yep. Pretty easily. But Ross, I think we know where your vote's going.
Oh yes, slam dunk for Anakin Skywalker, but just that caveat needs to be in there.
Yeah. Marie?
So Anakin Skywalker, and this is actually easy for me because the dichotomy between the two, because Darth Vader's great and everything, but I love Anakin Skywalker. Like, Anakin Skywalker is my favorite Star Wars character, period, end of story. I adore him. I like Little Annie. I like Padawan Anakin. I like Jedi Knight Anakin. I love Anakin, period. So Anakin.
Little Annie.
Yeah. Little Annie. But yeah, this is sad that BB-8 is my favorite droid in all of Star Wars, but he's just going up against a brick wall. And I was going to wear my BB-8 in the Fonz crossover shirt where it says BBA. So I was gonna wear that tonight, but it's a little worn out. I've worn it one too many times. But yeah, Anakin is just like he's a juggernaut. Like he pretty much, despite what you think of Hayden Christensen, I do think that the character kind of carries the prequels, and yeah, like I think that like he's one of the best characters in all of Star Wars. I got to go with Anakin. So with that, Anakin, it is unanimous. So we'll move on to the next matchup. We have Ahsoka Tano going up against Palpatine. Ooh. Yeah, these matchups get brutal even in the first round. Oh. So we start with Thomas this time.
Of course, I get thrown into all of these.
Yep.
And this might be the toughest one yet. But you know what? I've got to go with my head and not my heart on this one. It's got to be Palpatine, the man with the plan, old Sheev, orchestrating and playing both sides so that he always ends up on top to steal a line from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. This is a brilliant tactician, a man that had like how many plates spinning in the air, literally, as he puppeteered the entire galaxy, going from just a humble senator from the planet of Naboo to the ruler of the entire galaxy to I don't know what happens to you when you get thrown into the reactor of the Death Star, but he still clung on. He still clung on and came back, only to be obliterated by literal love, I suppose. So in any event, it's got to be Palpatine.
Yeah. Ross, what do you think?
This is a tough one for sure. And it was, I think this is a lot easier for me before The Rise of Skywalker, because I agree with everything Thomas says, but I think The Rise of Skywalker shows that like Palpatine lost a lot of brain cells when he went down that reactor shaft, because his plans really like had some serious holes in them in the sequel trilogy. But with that said, Palpatine is the great mystery, and there is so much more to be told about him. He is the bane of the existence for the Skywalker saga, and the Skywalker family, and the rebellion, and everything we've come to know and love in Star Wars. And as much as Ahsoka has such an incredible arc, and I'm so excited for how much more Ahsoka we're going to get, and the impact she has on Anakin, and the impact she has on Obi-Wan, and the fact that she is the spiritual successor in the Force to Qui-Gon, and also the sister, and just provides this incredible piece to the overall puzzle in that, and especially in that time period. But I agree with Thomas. I still have to go with Palpatine, I think.
Yep.
Really hard.
Yeah. Well, Maria, who you got?
So Ahsoka is wonderful, but good old Uncle Palpy has to win this one for me.
Yeah. Well, so I was a little late to the game when it came to Clone Wars. I went back and watched it probably just about 2-3 years ago, and like her storyline is just so good in that, and like even going forward after that, like I'm super excited we're gonna get more from her. But I mean, Emperor Palpatine's Emperor Palpatine. Like he's just the like master that just kind of like it kind of has the whole galaxy under his thumb, basically. And so yeah, like just the sheer power and the way that he was able to get there, like it just blows my mind. So yeah, I gotta go with Palpatine. Evan?
All right, again, you folks are out of your damn minds. I love Palpatine. He's the great puppet master. But look at my sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
You gotta stay on brand.
I figured that's what it was.
I grew up for personal reasons.
Stay on target.
I grew up like hyper religious. I still identify as like a Christian, but I was like a super gross Christian when I was growing up. But like, so I went to this like this period of my life where I started questioning everything I once believed, and I'm like, oh, I just don't believe most of what I used to. And seeing Ahsoka question her institution and walk away willingly when it had become corrupt and when it had become something where she needed to find answers for herself, I think that was like super meaningful for me to witness. Even like I didn't watch that, like I didn't really appreciate that until like my adult life. So I love Ahsoka, and yeah, she's great. She's such a like I like to cry. I just like to pull up stuff just so I can cry. I will regularly pull up the scene when she leaves the order, just to feel that. Yeah, it's so good. Such a great scene.
As we take Evan's deep emotional connection to this character, crumple it up.
Well, Thomas, what do you think?
You'll always have the shirt.
Always. Yep. So, yeah.
Man, that's a brutal one, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, see, that's the thing about tournament fights. It just depends on the randomizer and the luck of the draw. So you can literally have any types of matches. We could redo this whole thing, and we could see Ahsoka Tano maybe in the final 4 fight, possibly. So,
I think she's got to be the highest cut so far.
Yeah, so with that, that's the end of that side of the bracket. So we're done with one side. So we're going to move it on over to this next side and see what kind of matchups we got coming up. All right, so you can kind of see that we got
I like this one. All right,
we got Cad Bane going against Orson Krennic. So, and I believe that Thomas, you're up.
You know what?
So who you got?
Krennic is one of my favorite characters in one of my favorite movies. But man, Cad Bane is just so good at what he does. Think about all the bounty hunters in the universe. Who is the one that Palpatine, that Darth Sidious himself goes to repeatedly, not for some piddly little task, but for some like galactic important stuff? It's Cad Bane. Cad Bane's the guy that you go to when you've got an impossible job to do, but you've got some credits to spend on the very best. All due respect to Krennic and his baby, the Death Star, but Cad Bane's got to win this one.
Yep.
Krennic, the best and the worst of middle management. His unnecessary cape, his aftermarket blaster, his condescending pose, and his incredibly self-fulfilling demise is all really wonderful. And Krennic, I'm excited to hopefully see more, and maybe an Andor. But I think that the hat alone almost does it for Cad Bane. The man is he screams badassery. He is old school Western, and that is like Star Wars. Yes, it's this space Western samurai. But Cad Bane leans so much into his Western motif, yet he has these tubes that come off of him, and he's a Duros, so he's, of course, the most alien-looking of all, like traditional alien-looking of all the Star Wars species. And so he's just so fascinating to look at. And then he opens his mouth, and then he gets 10 times more interesting by the incredible voice behind it. And the fact that he can back up all of this talk, even in his older age, as we've seen in The Bad Batch. And so he is an era-defining bounty hunter, galaxy-wide, and Cad Bane takes it for me, too.
Yeah, for sure. Marie, who you got?
So I'm not saying this just because of Rogue One, so don't think that, but I love Orson Krennic. We stand here amidst my achievement, not yours, and I love that. And he's because I get it. He's like, dude, don't take the credit for this. I did this, and I like feel that on a very personal level. And also that gif of him walking down the hallway with his cape, like that's one of my favorite gifs. I use it all the time, so I have to go with Krennic.
Yeah, and for me, I think I gotta go with Cad Bane, just because like not only is one of the coolest looking characters, like I just love it, like how unique and different that he is, and like he's just like so badass and so much fun to watch. And I was right there with everybody on the Bad Batch that like freaked out when I saw him pop up. I thought that like it's super cool having him in there and just seeing him interact with like Wrecker and Omega. That's just a lot of fun. So yeah, I got to go with Cad Bane. Evan?
I love Krennic. I think he's apparently in the books and lore. I haven't read. I basically can't read. It's basically how it is. One Star Wars book, but I've heard that he's basically like he's climbed his way up through the mud to get to where he is, and so that's why he takes it so personally that his achievement is being overshadowed. I think that's really compelling, but like George Lucas literally described Cad Bane as Lee Van Cleef in space. Like that is everything for those 12-year-olds who are watching this. They'll know Lee Van Cleef is the bad in Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I think perfect. I think like he's just this icy cold bounty hunter. He's just he bleeds badass, and I love him.
Yep, for sure. Thomas, what do you think?
Oh, I already made my vote for Cad.
Okay, yeah. Sounds good then. Then by that, Cad makes it 4-1. So, but General Krennic did get a little love, so it wasn't a clean sweep. But coming up next, we got Cobb Vanth going up against Babu Freak.
Oh man!
Matchup.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So we'll throw it to Ross. You're up.
Both interesting characters with minimal, not a whole lot we've seen from them. Babu's a lot of fun and great for some laughs and could be really interesting in some stories we see. But Cobb Vanth is one of the main characters in a mini movie. That pilot for the first episode of season 2 for Mando. I mean, that's such an incredible arc that you're able to get. And you get his story from Aftermath as well. And he's just this guy. He's just this humble guy who wants to help out his town. You're able to get the flashbacks to when the Death Star is destroyed. And he took the gear to protect people, and he's willing to get rid of it if it means it's going to protect his people. And as much as he doesn't understand the Tuskens, he's somebody who does learn and takes a leadership role in his willingness to learn. And I think Cobb Vanth is an interesting character who we're going to see some more from. And so I'm going to go with Cobb Vanth.
All right. Maria, what do you think?
Wait, wrong way. Hold on. I'm like trying to figure out. Oh, it's over here. That's why I'm confused.
Oh, there
okay.
you go.
Okay. So frick. And there he is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Babu Frick is, oh my God. I adore him. He is so just, he's the coolest thing ever. I have the plush that talks and has like the hard plastic helmet and all the different pieces. From Target. I love that. And I will say that when I took my brother to see Rise of Skywalker, he and I used to have a really good connection over Star Wars. And then recently he's like, I just don't even know anymore. But the one thing he appreciated from Rise of Skywalker was Babu Frick. So.
Yeah. Well, all right. Yeah. This one's a lot tougher than I would have thought. I thought that I'd give it to like Cobb, maybe hands down, but like I have so much love for Babu. This one's tough. Because one of my favorite new characters. Like he was one of the best parts, maybe even the best part of Episode 9 for me. Like he was just great. So I think I wouldn't really think that I would go this way, but you know what? I'm gonna vote Babu Frick. So yeah. Evan?
Nice.
Cobb Vanth, who I'm giving it to to my main man, Babu Frick. On this.
Yeah.
One of my friends pointed out, did he call Jana and say, hey, Ray is the last hope for the galaxy? Are we to believe that Babu Frick called Jana and told her that? Babu
Yes, we are.
Surely
Yeah.
someone has to be alive on Kefir. Let me find them.
How does Babu Frick
in
know
the Galactic
Jana,
White Pages?
But
Ray, a Jedi, last ever she land.
it's true.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
they use the same. I'm an editor, so this was really funny to me. When he says "Hey," like the classic, yeah.
Yep.
They use the same. They crop him out of that scene and they just animate him up in the window of the Y-wing. It's the same exact shot. It's the same take.
Okay.
But he's not there. They just added that joke in post, and I think that's really funny.
Well, Thomas?
I'll give you two reasons for Babu Frick, one of which connects to what Evan just said. Steven Spielberg watched the first cut of Rise of Skywalker, and the reason that scene got dropped in there was because Steven Spielberg was like, what happened to Babu? So if Spielberg wants to know where Babu is, then everybody should care about Babu. The other thing is, when poor C-3PO gets rebooted, has no memory, has no idea where he is, who's the first guy to introduce himself and be kind to him? Babu Frick. It's Babu.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He may not have fought a crate dragon, but he's a kind little droid smith.
Yep. For sure. Yep. So with that, Babu moves on. So, all right, moving on. We got Wedge and Blaze going up against Niku. So,
that's hard.
So, and this one's a little tougher than I would have thought, but for me personally, I think. But we'll go with Marie first. See what you think.
Oh gosh, Niku every day, all day. One of the things when I'm feeding my pet lizard, whose name's Anakin, by the way. I always go, Anakin, I have food. Like that's one of my favorite things is when he's like freaking out about food at a party. Like he's just so precious. I love Niku.
Yeah. And someone sent me they sent it to I think try to annoy me, but I actually found it a little less annoying than I thought it was. But they have a 10-hour cut of Nico just going food on YouTube that you can find. But yeah,
oh my God.
and like he's probably my favorite part about Star Wars Resistance. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I do love Niku, and I do love the fact that it's Josh Burner from Silicon Valley
Big head
doing the voice, which is awesome. So yeah, props to him for doing such an awesome job with that character. So yeah, and like Wedge just really like he just like not really. He never really has enough to do for me. So I got to go with Niku. Evan.
I'm actually gonna respect the classics here. You know, I think Wedge is great. I love Niku. Don't get me wrong. Niku is so funny, so charming, and one of the best parts of that show. But Wedge is like, he's just cool, man. Like I don't know. I like him. Sue me. I like Wedge Antilles. Hot take, I know.
But, classic.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say Wedge. I have no reason. I like
it.
It.
Yeah, you don't need any reason. So, Thomas.
All due respect to Niku, I think Resistance gets far less love than it should. I think it's hated on by people that have not given it an honest chance. And Niku is one of the best parts of the show, and somebody that grows on you. And I also don't think you can properly appreciate the sequel trilogy unless you've watched that entire series. It just adds a lot of flavor to it. However, Wedge, and I'll give you a single moment that seals it for me, in spite of his choice of an X-Wing as his starfighter. It's the moment as he's in the middle of the second Death Star, and Lando is talking to him about targeting. the main power core there, and he says, "I'm already on my way out." And that like ballsiness, that like pure uncut confidence, like this is going to be the second Death Star that I helped take down. This is easy. It's as if like it's a basketball player running up for a layup or an uncontested slam dunk. That's Wedge Antilles in a nutshell right there, and that's why he has to move on.
Yeah. Well,
Nice
down to you,
choosing.
Ross. You got the tiebreaker.
Yeah, nice choosing there, Thomas and Evan. I got to go with Wedge. It is the right call. No disrespect to Niku. Resistance. It's not something that I go back to on really any basis, and that's not much of an insult to it. It's just I've known Wedge for a lot longer, and as much as this is, I'd say probably of all the brackets, the one that has mattered the least to me. I'm still going to give it to classical Wedge.
Yep. With that, Wedge moves on just by a little bit. But I do want to give some shout out to Malcolm in the chat. He wanted to comment on the last matchup, so he's on board with us with Babu. So
nice.
Yeah. But moving on to the next one, we got Darth Maul going up against Finn.
Oh
man.
And also, I do have to say that I included Finn with the lightsaber as the picture because I just think they should have made Finn a Jedi, like they should have, and I don't know why they didn't, but yeah, that's just me. But
clearly, you didn't watch the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special,
where he
He's
was
becoming
training to be a Jedi.
Right. But I think with that, I'm up first for this one, and yeah, I got to go with Darth Maul. I actually did a pretty awesome Darth Maul cosplay that I'll have to send you guys in the private chat. But I did it for when in episode 7 premiered. I was working at a movie theater at the time, so I did it for our big premiere there. So I got to do it while I was working. I got to be dressed as Darth Maul, so that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Just like taking tickets and stuff, and
that's great.
and like scaring children and everything. So, but yeah, I got to give it to Darth Maul. But Evan,
I love Finn so much. I think he's such a charming character. I love when Kylo Ren calls him a traitor, and that seriousness just washes over his face. Like, oh, we're doing this. Like, this is gonna happen. And like, awesome moment. I love him in Force Awakens and in The Last Jedi. I don't think people respect his arc in that movie enough. But Darth Maul, as Freddie Prinze Jr. says, is Sisyphus. He is destined to always build up an entire success story just to have it crumble at his feet. I find it really compelling that he dies as he lived, just desperately clinging to his hatred. And the last words, he will avenge us, are beautiful. Also, you mentioned the Darth Maul costume. My mom dressed up as Darth Maul, to give out candy on Halloween one year. This was probably when I was three or four. And she would stand there totally still, like people watching the statue, and she would jerk her head down at children to startle them. That was really
Oh my gosh.
yeah. So little mom story there, but Darth Maul gets it on this one. But Finn's great too.
It's even cooler that it's your mom doing it. Like you wouldn't want a mom that would dress up as Darth Maul. That's awesome.
Right.
But Thomas, who you got?
I'm going to go with Maul. Evan, I will give you a compliment, which may be the only one that I ever give you. That was a very eloquent defense of Maul. But yeah, his arc is just so beautifully tragic. I love seeing him sort of build up the criminal enterprise in the Clone Wars. That went from a character where I remember the first time it was revealed that he was coming back, and the reaction was like, okay, I guess George Lucas wants him back. Like how? I don't know. And we had no clue what was going to be in store for him. But watching him go from that to the absolutely beautiful arc that he had in Rebels, his amazing appearance in season 7 of the Clone Wars, there's that moment where he's in the tunnels on Mandalore talking to Ahsoka, and he's clearly understands some of the plan that's about to happen. and that moment he realizes it's unfolding is just like bone chilling. So it's Maul for me.
Yep.
Yeah, beating the exact same drum. Love Finn, and there's so much more to tell with Finn, and I think he's the main thread that can continue from what we got in the sequel trilogy with really interesting stories. But yeah, Maul is such a tragic and fascinating character that there are so many layers to it, so many stages, and season 7 of the Clone Wars is just the pinnacle of all of that. And so yeah, Darth Maul, or more so even Maul.
Just Maul.
Yeah. Right. Well, Marie.
So I think that Maul has an incredibly interesting story arc, and I recently got this little guy, which makes me super happy.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, he's even got the legs, so that's really cool. But Finn is my favorite character in the sequel trilogy, so I have to go with Finn.
All right. Well, we got some more love for Finn, but it's not quite enough. So Darth Maul's going to take this one. So Darth Maul.
Yeah,
moving on.
The moment when he does, you mentioned Thomas. The moment when he gets like detained, I think especially like that. The Sam Witwer performance
screaming there. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I was like, I was so shocked watching that. I was like, oh no, this is terrifying. Like, what's gonna happen?
Yep.
They'll lock him up in that goddamn sarcophagus.
Well, when he's hanging upside down and screaming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, here we go.
Moving on, we got Darth Vader.
Here we go.
Going up against Moff Tarkin, his little underling. So this one's kind of fitting, but yeah. But yeah, we'll start with Evan first.
I'm gonna go Vader, because Vader still has some really solid emotional stuff too. The "it is too late for me, son" kills me every single time because he believes it about himself. It's not that. What kills me about that is he says it's when Luke is trying to convince him on the bridge on Endor. You guys know you're Schmodown competitors. You know that.
Yeah.
What kills me about that is that it's not like I don't want to. It's that I can't. Like he believes he's too far gone. Like truly, and I think that's so heartbreaking. But yeah, Vader's great. I think he's so cool. He's the villain. He's the villain in cinema history, like the one. So I gotta give it to him.
Yep. Thomas?
Tarkin is a special kind of twisted, but he can't hold a candle to Vader. Vader single-handedly hooked me on Star Wars. That scene where he strides onto the Tantive V4 and just surveys the wreckage and the chaos and the death, and just strides forward and then proceeds to choke out Antilles. That's badassery, pure and simple. Maybe evil, but badass. Vader it is.
Ross, what do you think?
Dun, 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 dun.
You could still be talking about either one.
No, my point is we don't associate. No, that came first in Empire. Tarkin was dead by then. And so very specifically, Tarkin does not hold Vader's leash. Vader holds his own damn leash. Tarkin is awesome. Tarkin is awesome. But yeah, Vader all the way every day. And we'll have hard arguments, I'm sure, in the next round with Darth Vader over the fragmentation of his character, but not here. And Darth Vader is still the most badass villain for many, many decades.
Yep. Yeah, Marie?
Again, kind of like with Count Dooku, I'm going to have to go with Tarkin because his character is incredibly complex. As you see in the Tarkin novel, his background on Neriadu is just crazy. Like, those people are vicious.
Jackass uncle.
Oh, they're savages.
So he is fascinating to me. Not because of his, appearance in A New Hope, but because of all the other stuff he's in. So I really, really like Tarkin.
I will shout out also his Bad Batch position. Like he's awesome in Bad Batch.
Yeah.
I'll just keep it short and sweet. Like I think Darth Vader is the greatest villain of all time in in any movie. So I'm gonna go with Darth Vader. So with that, Darth Vader is moving on. But we did get some love for Tarkin, so I appreciate that.
Deserves his love.
Yep. Absolutely. So next up, we got Han Solo going up against Hera.
Oh.
Two of the best pilots.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So we'll throw to Evan first.
Ooh. Now I know how Thomas feels. This is being thrown into the fire.
Yep.
I'm gonna say Han. Actually, I think Han is kind of overrated. I think everyone wants to be like him. Everyone wants to be Han, but everyone's actually Luke. I don't think people realize that. But Han has some really endearing moments, though. I think he's kind of an idiot in Return of the Jedi. But yeah, I think he's really fun. He's a great character. But Hera's great too. Hera's like the mom of the Ghost crew. So respect her too.
Yep. Thomas?
This may be the toughest cut yet. I'm like 51-49 in this split, and it's got to be Han. I think I especially appreciate what they did with his character post Return of the Jedi. We haven't seen everything, all the gaps filled in there, but it would have been too easy for them to make him just like succeed with fatherhood and be just this like iconic dad of the galaxy. And in reality, he struggled, and that was sort of in line, I think, with his character. You know, a guy that hadn't quite figured everything out in the galaxy, figured his own place out. He was just trying to do the right thing against some of his worst instincts sometimes, and you suddenly throw a kid in the mix, and you know, it doesn't all go rosy. So I appreciate where he landed, not literally in Force Awakens, because that's horrible to think about, but no. And to this day, his moment as a ghost, a memory with Ben there on Kef Beer is just, as a parent myself, I got 2 little daughters, and it just like hits me, like that moment where Ben is like, Dad, it just really hits me. So yeah. Han Solo it is.
Yeah, we got
sorry?
I was gonna say we got my co-host Austin chiming in the comments.
Yes.
Doesn't hesitate to just go for the headshot.
Great point.
That is true. Yeah.
Great point.
But go ahead, Ross.
Yeah, I mean, Hera, one of the best moms in the galaxy, even before she's actually a mom. And Han, one of the worst dads in the galaxy. But even with all those things considered, it's like it's the face touch that saved the galaxy in that same way. And his relationship with Ben is so fascinating, and his relationship with Kylo as well, and that kind of dichotomy that they have. Han Solo, as much as, yes, I agree with you, Evan, completely under the guise that, yes, we all want to be Han, but we're all Luke. I think Han over time has been deconstructed a little bit to realize that we are actually a Han. We think everything is bullshit. Our car won't start. We get frozen in carbonite. Like I feel terrible, and it's just like, hey, in the same way we are Han too, but we don't get to necessarily, we're not as cool as Han, and the fact that he's able to do everything, that all the shit that we would look ridiculous doing, he still somehow makes it look effortlessly cool, and he doesn't ask questions until after he's done it, and so that's why it's got to be Han Solo.
Yeah. Maria, what do you think?
I don't even know. Like, I don't even know which one to go with, honestly. I'm just gonna say Hera.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's tough, but I just think, yeah, Han Solo, it's just probably, for me, one of the coolest characters in all of Star Wars. I mean, like, he's the best smuggler. He's the best scruffy nerf herder. Like, he's just like all of that. And and also too, well, with all the cool kind of humorous moments that he has, he also has some pretty deep moments, like when he comes back in the as a Force ghost. Like that's a very powerful scene with him and Ben that you guys mentioned earlier. So, but yeah, I got to go with Han. So, and with that 4-1, Han's moving on. So, up next we have the Mando. We're looking at Jar Jar. Okay. So up first will be Thomas.
You know what? I feel like everybody thinks this one is in the bag for old Din there, but I have to just point out that without Jar Jar's help, Naboo would have fallen. It would have the Naboo people would have been crushed permanently under the boot heel of the Trade Federation. This man is a warrior, a bombad general, a diplomat. Having said all that, though, I've got to go with Din Djarin.
Yep. Yep. Ross?
Yeah. Jar Jar is the village idiot in all the right and the wrong ways. He did all those things Thomas said, and then unknowingly sold the galaxy out for a long period of time. Din is awesome. Din has lived up to all the coolness of Boba Fett, says equally as little, and we love letting him into our home around the holidays these last few years. He's brought Grogu with him, and the two of them are a truly iconic duo in a saga full of iconic duos, and I loved it. So yeah.
Well, Marie, what do you think?
I mean, for me, this is super easy, but I'm gonna go the other way because Jar Jar is the best. I love Jar Jar. He's actually one of my favorite characters because of the Clone Wars TV show, because there are multiple episodes in Clone Wars where he is just hysterical. Like, one of my favorite moments is when C-3PO and Padme are on Rhodia and they're talking to each other, and C-3PO tells her that the ship got destroyed, and he's like, she goes, battle droids? And C-3PO says no. And then she says Jar Jar, and C-3PO says Jar Jar. And it's just like the most, like, the simplest exchange, but it is so quintessentially like Jar Jar is ridiculous, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I just love the kind of cool like mystery behind Din. Like I just think that he plays it perfectly well. Like I think it's so much fun, and Jar Jar for me, it's just kind of like I don't really hate him as much as a lot of people do, but like I'm not a fan of fart jokes and all that kind of stuff in Star Wars. I just think it just feels a little out of place. But I mean, so yeah, this one's pretty easy. I got to go with Din Djarin.
To be fair,
so Evan?
I think there is only one fart joke in the Phantom.
Yeah, excuse me.
True.
Yeah,
there's a poop joke.
There's a poop joke, and it's also with Jar Jar. But you know what? I'm a clumsy person by nature. I screw a lot of stuff up.
Have you stepped in icky goo?
I have, yes, yeah. I have, absolutely, multiple times. I have released the big boomers onto many people.
Might give up.
I love Jar Jar. I think he is such an underappreciated character because he's got a heart of gold. Like I think he's such a sweet character. He's just clumsy. He just messes stuff up, but it works out. Like he basically he killed a lot of droids like by accident. So he's kind of cool. But I am gonna give it to Din, not because he's a cool stoic badass. That's all great. I don't really like this idea of Star Wars being badass. It's goofy. It's stupid. Star Wars is stupid.
Yeah.
But I love the stuff like when he reaches for the handle and the ball is no longer there. Like the conflict, in episode 4, the 7 Samurai episode, when he's given a choice between staying with with the village, or going off and like being his own person still. And you can tell he wants the peaceful life so bad, but he can't have it. It's like classic Western shit. I love Din Djarin. I think he's cool.
Yeah. So with that, the Mando moves on, and we'll move into our next matchup here. We got Tobias Beckett going against Snoke. So,
Damn.
yeah. So this time we'll throw it to Ross. You're up first.
This is another one that I don't honestly care as much about compared to some of them. There, I would sacrifice either of these characters to resurrect some people we've already lost in this battle. But Snoke has a lot of interest and intrigue around him. Snoke is potentially one of many experiments. Snoke is a vessel. What is Snoke? Beckett is a classic scoundrel. But I think Beckett is a little too much of a classic scoundrel. I think the fact that Snoke is this horrific science experiment gone wrong and continuously gets more and more confusing when it comes to as a science experiment. We have no idea what the hell this thing is. But I'm okay with that. He started out where it's like, is he a giant? No, that's a hologram. Oh, there's this giant face. No, that's a hologram too. But then he's got this gold. So Snoke in the long run, because it's just the question mark that is Snoke and continues to be.
Yeah. Marie, what do you think?
I have to. I like what Ross just said, so I'm going with Snoke, which kind of surprises me, but that was a good argument.
Yeah, and I will echo everything that he said as well, and I think that Snoke is the best Frankenstein that we have in the Star Wars universe, and Tobias is great. He's a great character, but I mean, yeah, like even though I feel like they eventually ruined a character that when Snoke that's so much potential. I feel like even with that, like I just feel like that's just because the movies didn't really line up the way they're supposed to. So yeah, I got to go with Snoke. Evan?
I like Beckett, but I'm also going to go Snoke. I think people got it kind of twisted with Snoke. I don't think people were too busy focusing on who he was and not why he was there. And the reason he's there is he's not a character. Snoke is not a character. Snoke is a device for Kylo Ren to grow. And it works. He serves his purpose so well. Snoke's death is like one of the most rewarding things. Like, he's this oppressive asshole of a master. And for Kylo Ren, he's the hill that Kylo Ren climbs. And when you see him climb it, you're like, oh, I'm sold. Kylo Ren is like the best. So, yeah, I'm giving it to Snoke here for his purpose as served.
Also, best toupee in the galaxy, right?
I believe it's real hair. I believe it's real.
Of course.
I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona I'd love to sell you.
Yeah, right.
But he doesn't have hair. I just realized. So maybe you're right.
Thomas, what do you think?
Worst hairpiece in the galaxy.
Yeah,
amazing. No, I think I love the moment where Rian Johnson just broke the back of monetized YouTube accounts across the globe as he gets chopped in half. Because I think you're exactly right, Evan. The moment for Snoke isn't like what powers does he have or what's his plan for the galaxy. It's Kylo Ren looking up at him and saying, I've given everything to you, to the dark side, and realizing that Han was right aboard Starkiller Base, that movement that Rian Johnson needed to happen in Kylo's character to get him where he needed to be was served beautifully by Snoke. So Snoke, or half and half Snoke, if you want to split him into different parts of the bracket.
Yeah, right. And
the child in a mask, and it cuts to that shot of him just like reflecting on his life. It's so sad. It's like, oh, fuck this dude. Let's kill him.
I
thought I was cool.
But we got a couple of comments from the live chat. Malcolm, he says that Snoke's kind of less of a character, so he would have gone with Tobias. And then also my usual co-host Austin. I'm just saying he's gonna get smoked by whoever he goes up against. We'll see. So, but we'll see. But up next we got Saw Gerrera going against Ray. Yeah. So for this one, we're gonna go with Marie first. So
okay.
You got
so up until Rise of Skywalker, I was not a Rey fan.
Oh,
I thought Rey was just. There were so many things I was not a fan of with Rey. And then in Rise of Skywalker, we find out she's a Palpatine, and she defies her family, her twisted family background, to lay claim to her chosen family. And that is a powerful message. And I love her now. So Rise of Skywalker made Rey for me. So I'm going Rey.
all right. Yeah, and for me, I gotta go Rey just because she's my favorite character in the newest trilogy, and yeah, like her whole storyline I thought was just super intriguing to me. Even though they kind of changed it up, that they made her a nobody, but then we find out that she's a Palpatine, and yeah, like I actually kind of echo a lot of things that you just said, Marie. Like I think that the episode 9 is kind of what really makes me really love this character, but really liked her a lot up until that point. And yeah, it was Saw, like I don't know, like, but maybe I don't really understand his character fully. I kind of find him a bit of a coward. I don't know, but I mean his arc in Rebels though, like is a pretty interesting story. So I'd like seeing him pop up there, but I gotta go Rey. Evan, what do you think?
I'm also gonna go Rey, but I agree with what Marie is saying, like the reasons she likes the character. However, I think The Last Jedi is what does it for me. I understand stories change. I'm not here to shit on The Rise of Skywalker. It's one of the ones that I don't mesh as well with, but I liked the idea that she was a nobody, and her growth became like, oh, I don't need to be somebody great. Like I don't need to be of this massive bloodline. I don't need to be like the next in the chain of great ones. I have to be me. And then somebody on Twitter recently pointed this out, like she ends that movie surrounded by her family, like her friends on the Falcon. And she kind of like she had grown to like accept that one, her family's never coming back. Like the people she thought she needed, she no longer needs. Like she has everything. Like Leia says, we have everything we need. I think her arc through those two movies is really compelling. I like what they're going for in Rise of Skywalker. I disagree with some aspects of it, but also Rey is just a really kind person. Like you don't see that often. Like you don't really see where like the kindness is like an active, like you can notice it. But you really see it with her. Like she's always trying to help people, regardless of if it's beneficial to her or not. I think that's really compelling. So I'm going.
Yeah, for sure. Thomas?
Yeah, I like Saw because the existence of a character like him made the rebellion feel more real. It took it out of this like white knights and bad guys, like black and white, good bad guy type stuff, and injected a gray area that I feel is much more real. It made the galaxy feel much more real. However, Rey's amazing. Rey will fix your antenna if it's bent. Rey will not sell you for 60 portions. So Rey moves on.
Yeah, all this might be the biggest margin of all of them thus far. Saw is interesting, but I I don't need to see more Saw, and Rey is awesome. I would agree with pretty much every word that came out of Evan's mouth, particularly.
Yep. Well, with that, Rey moves on. So yep, we'll go into the next one. We got Lando.
Oh yeah. Also, Ross, your name is Rey. Like that's the whole thesis. Is your name.
Right.
I thought of that before, but it's been a while. Anyway.
Yeah. So with this one, I'll go first on this one, and for me, just in the interest of time, I'm going to keep it short. I just think that Lando's cool, but he's kind of a backstabber, and C-3PO is just a true loyal friend through and through, and like, I mean, even though he's like scared of like everything for some reason, but I mean, besides that though, I got to go C-3PO still. Evan?
I'm going to start moving quickly through these two because I go on emotional anecdotes about a lot of shit. Faster.
Right.
Lando's great. I love how he atoned for his betrayal. I thought he's great in Empire, great in Jedi, great in all this stuff. 3PO is the best droid in Star Wars. Don't let anyone lie to you otherwise. 3PO is he's got a heart and an outer shell of gold. And respect him because he's not just whiny. He cares about people. He's taking one last look at his friends. And he's willing to lay down his entire life for people who don't give a shit about him. Like, it's awesome.
Yep. Thomas?
You just wait till 3PO calls you an overweight glob of grease. Or see how you like it. Look, there's only one of these two characters who has a collection of capes, and that's Lando. It's Lando.
All right.
This is a crazy difficult one. This might be the new leader in terms of difficulty, actually. I would be a coin toss on either of these people. 3PO's. There may be a little recency bias of how good he was in The Rise of Skywalker. I'm firmly standing that R2 is the better droid, but I will go with C-3PO.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Marie?
By the thinnest margin.
So I'm going to have to go with Evan and say that C-3PO is the best droid in Star Wars. So C-3PO for sure.
Yeah. So with that, C-3PO takes it. So
that's a tough cut for Lando.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
It is.
In the first round.
Bad first round draw.
Him and Padme can go grab a drink after.
Yep. We got Ezra going up again. Ooh, King.
Oh, nice.
And Apprentice.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. All right. This is going to be tough, but we'll start with Evan.
This is a SmackDown, folks. I don't care what y'all say. Kanan Jarrus is one of the greatest Jedi who ever lived. The messages he gets with Bendu, where he learns to overcome his fear, he realizes that's what's holding him back from training Ezra properly. Kanan's awesome. Kanan is such a compelling character, and I'm going with him.
All right, Thomas.
I love Kanan's entire arc. It may be one of my favorite in Star Wars, to go from Padawan eager to jump in the war but has no clue about the horrors of it, to just a person in hiding, closed off to the Force, to an instrumental hero. All due respect to Ezra, but Kanan's got my vote.
Yeah. Ezra's a great character. I'm thrilled about the potential casting news that's coming out. Kanan is a top 10 character in Star Wars. Kanan is an incredible arc. Evan, I think, knocked it home once again. Same wavelength. Fear is the big story with Kanan. Kevin, yeah, with Kevin.
Kevin Jarrus.
Yeah,
that's right. But yeah, fear is what dictates so much of his decision making, and it's also he's one of the best teachers because he's also, when he's able to get past his fear, he becomes one of the best learners. And I think he's just a character loaded with so much positive messaging about life and being a constant learner and about what it is to be a Jedi. And so yeah, Kanan by a mile.
Also, he's the only of these two voiced by a Schmodown competitor. So
this is true.
True. Yep. So, Maria, what do you think?
I love what everyone has said already about Kanan, so let's go Kanan.
Yeah. Well, for me, I gotta show some love to Ezra. Like, I just think like Kanan's one of my favorite characters in Star Wars, but also so is Ezra. Those are my favorite master and apprentice right there. And Ezra just has so much potential though. Like, and also I want to know where is Ezra? Like,
Yeah,
I want to find out where he's hiding. Like, he's out there somewhere, and I want to find him and like see what's next for him. So
subscribe to
so I'm gonna
Disney
get some-
Plus.
He's one
Exactly.
jump ahead of the
That's coming.
Lawmen.
Yep. So
Ahead of
I'm
the
gonna give some love to Ezra, even though Kanan's going through. So yep. Yeah.
Also, everyone was comparing him to Aladdin a few years ago. I think that's really funny now.
Yeah, it's so spot on though. He is.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. So next up we got Kylo Ren going against Qui-Gon.
Oh,
This is a different type of battle here. So we go with Thomas.
I'm going to go with Qui-Gon. I love his defiance. I think the Master and Apprentice book that came out relatively recently that really spotlighted his relationship with Obi-Wan was great. He's a guy that's not afraid to just tell it like it is, even if that means sacrificing his own upward potential within the Jedi Order and doing what he believes is right for the galaxy. So Qui-Gon's it for me.
Yeah.
I love Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon's been one of my brother's favorite characters for our entire lives, and I enjoy Star Wars very much with my brother. We podcast together, and so I've always loved Qui-Gon. I've always had tremendous appreciation for Qui-Gon. But the answer is Kylo Ren, full stop. He is instrumental to an entire generation. I already talked to you before about how I didn't like the notion of an Anakin Vader split. I could get more on board with the notion of a Kylo Ren Ben Solo split. I believe that is the most dual of all characters in Star Wars. He is 2 in 1. He is a tormented, possessed mind with completely controlled by Palpatine. He has these voices in his head. He is just a child lost in war with parents who are so stuck on achievement. He is tragic, yet he's the one who causes all of his own problems. The scenes with Rey in The Last Jedi, and then mirroring those with just the pure hatred that he spits to Luke in The Last Jedi. Kylo Ren has such an incredible arc between those 3 movies and is the reason that the sequel trilogy can work as a trilogy. The trilogy, it just doesn't make sense at all without Kylo Ren, in terms of he is the only consistency that really stays as a beeline throughout those 3 movies, in my opinion. And as much as I adore Qui-Gon Jinn, I think you have to go Kylo Ren here.
Well, Marie, what do you think?
I'm sorry.
That's right.
I definitely agree. I'm going Kylo Ren because I just love the character, but also I have this incredible gender bent cosplay of Kylo Ren, and it makes me feel so powerful and makes me feel like a badass. So Kylo Ren.
All right. Yeah, and well, for me, I got to give some love to Qui-Gon. I just love all the mystery surrounding him. We don't really find out a lot about his character, but he's a super wise character. And also, too, I wanted to put what Boston said in the chat. He will find you and he will kill you. So we got a
special set of skills.
That sounds
Exactly.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like Qui-Gon, the man who meditates in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm gonna go Qui-Gon. So
I'm glad I could break this tie.
Yeah,
because I love Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is, I agree, the best part of the sequels. But I mentioned earlier, my favorite Star Wars character was coming up. Qui-Gon is my favorite Star Wars character. He is everything the Jedi should
Felicia.
be. He's the greatest Jedi who lived. and he's the shining example of not letting dogma get to you. I've not read Master and Apprentice, but there's a quote that recently has been really meaningful to me. I'm paraphrasing, but it's something to the effect of, I've come to the conclusion that we must all interpret the code for ourselves, otherwise it ceases to be a living pact and becomes nothing but a prison cell. I love his philosophy on life. There's a bit in his standalone comic that they did in the Age of Republic where he's talking about how he found more answers of the Force, but with that came more questions. This man is always learning, always trying to be better, always defying the council, and he's perfect. If he would have trained Anakin, it wouldn't have gone the way it did. He would have trained him properly. Anakin would have gotten married, I bet, and like legally. I mean, like not in hiding.
Qui-Gon would have witnessed it.
Yeah, no,
officiated.
True,
Yeah.
But with that, Qui-Gon's moving on. So
that is a mistake.
So this will be a fitting one for you to end on, Thomas, because we got Luke there. So
this will be a quick one.
Oh gosh.
A little lopsided, but hey. So yeah, we'll start with you, Thomas. Who do you got?
For the record, I've really grown to enjoy Mayfeld's character. I love him like needling Din Djarin, and just the scene from season 2 in the dining hall may be one of my favorites in the entire series so far. That was just a pure Star Wars moment. But Luke's got to like, how could you not go Luke here? I don't even need to elaborate on that. It's got to be Luke. We'll debate Luke's finer points in future matchups deeper in the bracket, but Luke takes this one.
Yeah, and if you got to go, Thomas, do you have anything you want to promote, or let us know where we can find you real quick?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Thomas L. Harper. I guess I have a match coming up at some point soon against a couple people, one of whom I guess will earn the right to play me this weekend at Collision. I suppose.
Rub it in, why don't you?
Yeah, right.
Look, if you could spell, then maybe reality would be. I'm just kidding.
I'm leaving this show.
I'm kidding. And my motivation to win that match is so that I don't have to be in that murderer's row. And when the brackets, I guess, get released next week, all of you are going to see exactly what I'm talking about. But the tournament is no joke for the fall. If you thought the mid-season tournament was rough and filled with amazing matchups, you're going to get even more of that. So look for me. I don't know when that match will be scheduled. I'm excited to find out who wins this current title match on Saturday. Tune into that. It'll be free up on YouTube. So I'll see y'all in the chat at Collision. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Cheers.
Yeah, thanks again. Yeah.
Bye.
See you. With that, I'll just quickly explain. We have a tiebreaker policy when we have a even number of panelists, and basically it'll just go the way that the votes go. So the first tiebreaker, if we have one, we'll go to Evan, and we'll just work our way up the ladder. So you get the first tiebreaker, and with the tiebreaker, you can go with the first that you first voted for, or you can choose to switch your vote last minute if you want to. So there's that option if you decide to. But you're up, Evan. So who you got?
I'm gonna give it to Luke again. I love his original trilogy stuff. I think everyone is Luke. Everyone is the person that doubts, like, no, there's no way. That thing is so much bigger than a fucking rock. You can't lift that. What are you doing? And then just getting that doubt shoved in his face, I think is so beautiful. And Last Jedi is obviously it's beautiful. I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
He's such a compelling, dynamic character that never stops growing, never stops learning. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Migs Mayfeld is
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, I love Migs Mayfeld. Migs is great. He's a lot of fun. Evan said it as well there. He never stops growing and he never stops learning. And Ken Knapsack said it best on Force Center. I think it's the best way to describe The Last Jedi, and in particular Luke. Star Wars, every single movie in Star Wars is about growing up. The Last Jedi is the first movie in Star Wars about growing old. And it shows a true difference in the fact that we all grow up, but we all grow old. And we've all grown up with Luke Skywalker, loving Luke Skywalker, and we're all going to have to grow old in a way. And yet, should we not also grow old with Luke Skywalker and experience troubles the same way that he did, and not necessarily believe in ourselves at all times? And I think that Luke Skywalker, as amazing as his journey is in the original trilogy, is only elevated by the sequel trilogy. So yeah, Luke with a bullet.
Yeah, for sure. Marie, what do you think?
I mean, Luke.
Yeah. Yep. This one's pretty simple. Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm the same way. I got to go with Luke. I mean, I like Bill Burr as like a comedian, but Luke, yeah. So
Biggs is great too.
When he destroys
Yeah.
that shipment of Rhydonium or whatever, like when he said he says we all gotta sleep at night. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that one's pretty easy. So Luke moves on, and then we got a bit of a latecomer is going to fill in the panel. We got Malcolm Lade joining us a little late, but hey welcome.
Hello.
This man was my first interview in the entire Schmodown process.
Nice. So yeah, moving on to the next, we got Moff Gideon going against R2D2. Ooh, interesting. So yeah, so with that, we'll throw it to Ross first. Who you got?
Make quick work of this. Moff Gideon is a very cool villain for The Mandalorian, but R2 is the best droid in the galaxy. He is the unsung hero of the Skywalker saga. He is Anakin's partner, Luke's partner, Padme's partner, 3PO's partner, and our partner as the audience. R2 is the answer.
Yep. Marie?
I'm going with Moff Gideon because he's terrifying. He is terrifying, and I love it. So I'm going with him.
Yeah. So for me, as much as I love Giancarlo Esposito playing Moff Gideon, I think that's great casting, and like this one's tough for me, but I mean R2 is classic, and I got to go with R2D2. So I mean my vote, but Malcolm, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love Moff Gideon, R2D2 moves on easily for me.
Yeah. Evan, if you're still here, yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry. I had to. If I periodically step away, it's because I'm making sure my wife's not texting me because I have to go pick her up at some point.
Oh, you're good. Sure, yeah.
I'm going R2D2 as well. I think he is the second best droid in Star Wars. I think he's an incredible character. I love Moff Gideon. He's a terrifying villain, but R2 is like the backbone of the movies in a lot of ways. So I respect him.
Yeah. Yeah, Ross, did you give your input?
Yeah, R2D2. He moves on.
All right. R2D2. So he moves on. So we can make this one your last one. Marie, if you got to jump off here, but we have General Grievous going up against Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Oh, wow.
So we'll just throw it to you first, Marie.
Okay, so this is actually a great one for me to end on because another one of my absolute top 5 favorite characters include Anakin, C-3PO, Jar Jar, and one of them is General Grievous.
Oh, okay.
So I 100% love General Grievous. There was a comic. I can't remember if it was. I guess it was the Age of Republic comic that was just crazy with him. And I just think he's not only is he really cool looking, but he's just really fascinating. So definitely General Grievous. But I will say, Timothy Zahn is an incredible author, and the most recent Thrawn trilogy is shaping up to be pretty fantastic. So, but General Grievous,
yeah, for sure, yeah,
I vote.
Yeah, well, on that, if you have anything that you want to plug or let us know where we can find you, Marie.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Alia Morgaine, and I have a YouTube channel called Afrod's Artifacts where I talk about queer Star Wars. and that's a lot of fun. And then I have a review blog that is the StarWarsReview.blogspot.com. So that's where I am talking about Star Wars.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. So yeah, we'll definitely let you know how it turns out in the end. So
yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks again. Have a good night.
Bye.
All right. So if anyone else has to step out for any reason, you can just let me know. You can shoot me a message. But yeah, we'll keep it moving on. So for me, so I have a bit of a story with that kind of somewhat involves Grand Admiral Thrawn, and I will say that he is going to be my vote, but just a real quick one. When I met Timothy Zahn at a Comic-Con, I was buying a trade paperback from him and getting it signed by him. And he had already signed it, and then I went to swipe my credit card, and for some reason it kept getting denied. There's some issue with it, and I was just holding up the line forever and ever and ever. And it was just a really awkward situation, really cringy. And eventually someone behind me just ended up paying for it, so that was cool. But
Nice.
yeah, but General Grievous is an awesome character. It's pretty intriguing, half robot, half kind of human, I guess you could say, or some kind of living being. So yeah, but I'm gonna go with Thrawn. Malcolm, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like Thrawn as a character for what we saw of him in Star Wars Rebels. I know he's this much loved character, and when he was brought into Rebels, it was it's amazing. It's this great character. I never really had any connection with him. For me, and this is the reason why I'm going General Grievous. I love General Grievous. It's just one of those interesting characters who's not really a Jedi, but yet he can wield all these lightsabers that he seemingly stole from. And it's just really a really intriguing character. And I loved him in the Clone Wars. What they did with him.
Yeah. Well, Evan, what do you think?
I'm also going to go Grievous. I think he's really solid. I love Thrawn, don't get me wrong. I have never read any of the Timothy Zahn books. My introduction to him was Rebels. So, I mean, I loved him in that show. I think he's a brilliant tactician. I think he's incredible. But I got to show love to General Grievous. People want him to be badass so much. People want Grievous to be this crazy, like he was in the Tartakovsky Clone Wars, which is cool. But he's the mustache twirling villain of the week. He always loses, and I think that's really fun. I like him.
This is not where you pick a fun character over an incredible one.
Right.
Thrawn, you haven't read the books, but you see people who have spent so many hours with the smartest man in the galaxy. This is a strong mistake. Thrawn is a top 10 character in Star Wars for me. I'm heartbroken over this one. Lars Mikkelsen is the best casting on the planet. His voice acting is incredible, but he will show you, Evan. He will show you that this is a mistake when you watch him in live action and you see that this character is more than deserving of moving on. I'm disappointed, but
yeah. And also, if you're not a big book reader too, I would suggest even getting the audiobooks. I listened to all 3 audiobooks for the Thrawn trilogy, and they're great. They have all the voice acting, they have music and sound effects, everything. So it kind of makes it a little more fun that way.
The audiobooks make it for Thrawn in particular because the voice acting is so damn good.
Yeah, it's so good. So with that, Thrawn just ekes through. So
no, he lost. As much as I want Thrawn to be, he did lose.
Oh yeah, because Marie voted for Grievous. That's right. So
I got.
So yeah, sorry. Yep. So yeah, that's only 2 votes from. So but we'll move on. We got General Hux going up against Queel. So and in this matchup, we will throw it over to Malcolm first. So what you got?
I mean, this is easy for me. I'm not a big fan of Edward's characters, to be honest, but I like Hux a little bit more than Keel, so Hux for me.
Yeah. Evan?
I like Queel a lot. I think he's seeing him die was tragic. I thought that was a very heartbreaking moment. But again, I got to go with the fun character. He's terrifying in episode 7, but I love that he's a punching bag in the other 2. I think Star Wars thrives on goofy villains sometimes, and I think Hux is one of those examples. I love him. I love the guy.
Yeah.
I prefer Hux being a terrifying Nazi to a goof in terms of the way he brings impact. My vote is Queel. I have spoken.
Yep. Yeah, this one's tough for me just because of the sheer fact that I don't care for either of these characters all that much. I mean, they're just kind of perfectly fine middle of the road characters for me. So it's tough, but I think I got to give it to General Hux just slightly, just because I feel like they killed his character off at the wrong time, just when he was starting to kind of show that there's a bit of a good side, kind of helping him out a little bit. And yeah, I think that they could have done so much more with him, but even so, I'm still gonna vote for him. So, but yeah, with that though, it's General Hux, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm breaking Ross's heart more and more as this goes on.
This one doesn't break my heart that much.
Head, right?
The Thrawn and Kylo definitely break my heart, but Yoda is my favorite character. So as much as I really had to argue hard early on.
Yeah.
Kylo is, I will say, Kylo is one of the 2 people that I have a Hot Toys figure of. So yeah. I really love that. But Qui-Gon is the best.
And I totally appreciate that. Qui-Gon is incredible, and I love the role that he plays in Anakin's life as well.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see more of him, maybe in Kenobi too.
I feel like it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Liam Neeson's a terrible liar.
So with that, we've reached the end of round 1. So now that we got all the pleasantries out of the way, we've already said our piece on all our favorite characters and everything. The key here from here on out, it's just speed, because we're already over 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours. So we've already said what we got to say. So you can just vote. If you have something quick to say, maybe 5-10 seconds, you can say it. That's no problem. But we'll try and keep it quick though. So
I'll just say the character's name. I'll breeze through. We've already impassionedly ranted for all.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. So if anyone needs to get up for a bathroom break or to grab some water, anything like that, just go for it. So, but I'm gonna zoom it out slightly so we can see. So first up, you can kind of see we got Zeb going up against Yoda. So first round matchup, we'll throw it to Evan first. So
all right, I have a really long one. No.
All right.
I'm just Yoda.
Yep.
Yoda all day, every day.
Yep. Malcolm?
Yoda. Y-O-D-A, Yoda.
Yep. Yes.
Classic.
Weird Al Love, I got to go with Yoda too. Yep. So Yoda moves on. So next we have Obi-Wan Kenobi going up against Poe. And Ron, you're up.
Obi-Wan.
All right. And I'll go with Obi-Wan. Yep. Malcolm?
Obi-Wan.
Yep.
Easily Obi-Wan.
Yep. Obi-Wan.
Clean sweep.
Unanimous.
Or any of these.
Clean sweep.
These have been much easier already, yeah.
Yep, all right. Much easier so far. But we have Chewie going up against Asajj.
Oh, shit.
That's harder.
So
it's a little harder.
I guess I'm up first, and this one's harder, but I got to give it to Chewie. Just too lovable for me. So, Malcolm?
Chewie.
Yeah,
Yep.
Chewie.
Evan?
Yeah,
Ross?
close, but Chewie.
Yep. So yeah, Chewie moves on, and then we got Chopper going up against Sabine. Ooh, we got a bit of a Rebels matchup. So we'll start with Malcolm. Yeah.
This is actually tougher than what it looks like on paper. But I'm going to go with my heart on this one. I'm going to go Sabine.
Yeah. Evan?
I'll go Sabine.
Yeah. Ross?
I said before, I don't get the Chopper love as much, Sabine.
Yeah. And I think just by a slight little bit, I'll go Sabine too. So it'll be a clean sweep.
Even on the hard ones, we're unanimous.
Yep, right.
Yeah.
We're still unanimous. So moving on, we got Princess Leia going up against Kira.
Oh my God.
All right, got a female battle.
Let's make Han pick.
Yeah, right. Han, yeah. But Evan, you're up first.
I'm going Leia all day, every day.
Yep.
Leia.
Ross?
Leia.
Yeah, but I'll go Leia. Malcolm?
Yeah, Leia.
Yep.
Which of these is going to be the first split?
Hard one? Yeah, that'll be
the
interesting.
first hard one. Yeah. Yeah, right. Well, up next we have K2SO going up against Hondo. So, and it'll be Ross first.
Hondo. Easy.
I think
Hondo.
I gotta go. Yeah. I think I gotta go K2SO actually for this one. I didn't vote for him last time, but I will this time. Malcolm?
K2SO.
Yeah.
I'm going Hondo.
Ooh. So
I get the tiebreaker though.
Yep, you get the tiebreaker. So you can switch it though if you want last minute. You can.
No, I'm not. I'm not switching it. So yeah, it's the first person who goes that round, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Hondo goes forward. I'm happy to use that on Hondo.
Yep. So Hondo moves on.
So how did you just a quick question, how did you decide the seedings of this? Did you just randomize them?
Oh, yeah, so it's just totally random. I just put it in a randomizer and just we just got what we got. So yeah. So it makes it kind of interesting because you get some crazy first round matchups and first and second round. So but next we got Captain Rex versus Grogu. Ooh, and I think I'm up first on this one, and this one's tough. Like probably the toughest second round matchup for me, but sorry, Grogu. I think we got to give it to Captain Rex on this one. Just like he is just an awesome story arc. So, Malcolm.
Look, I don't want to go against the clone of a great New Zealand actor, but I have to. It's Grogu.
True. Evan?
Bradley Baker doesn't do a good New Zealand accent anyway, but I'm gonna go Captain Rex on this one actually.
Okay. Ross?
Grogu is one of the most important things in Star Wars. He is changing a generation in the way merchandise is coming out. You forgot to even put Captain Rex on the list. We had to remind you. You remembered Grogu in the first place. Grogu is on boxers, on straws, on like billboards and posters and
Monopoly board games.
Monopoly board games, right. Beautiful statues. I'm defending him because you still get the final vote here. That's the reason why I'm soliloquying here. But please vote for the $6 million puppet.
Go Rex.
Well, this one for the tiebreaker, like I was actually kind of split to begin with, and like actually I think I am going to change it back to Grogu. I think.
No!
Yeah. Like he just. I mean, look at that face. I mean,
you got to argue
that face. I mean, come on. Yeah, true. But yep, Grogu moves on. Sorry.
Damn. I can't believe this.
I had to go with the twist on that one because I was so.
Is this how Ross felt for Thrawn?
Yeah, right.
Feel betrayed.
So, but next up we got Anakin going up against Palpatine. Ooh,
we know this doesn't
here we go.
Well.
That is true.
So Malcolm, you're up first.
I mean, I feel like we've seen this battle already, but Palpatine.
Yeah, right. Evan?
I'm going Anakin.
Even though I've discussed the split, I'd say Palpatine becoming a confused spirit in The Rise of Skywalker makes me still go with Anakin. Anakin is, as a complete character, probably the best there is.
Yeah. I got to go with Anakin too. So, and I think with that, Anakin does move on. So,
wow, early exit for Palpatine in round 2.
Early exit, yeah, I know. I thought he might make it to the finals, but that'll be the end for that side. So, moving right along.
Quick now.
Yeah, now we're moving quick. So, let's see. So, next up we got Cad Bane going up against Babu Freak. Interesting. Two kind of crazy alien guys. So We'll go with Evan first. You're up.
We're going Lee Van Cleef, Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Cad Bane again.
Ross?
Yeah, Cad Bane.
Yeah, I got to go Cad Bane. Malcolm?
I actually would have gone Bobby Freak.
Okay.
Cad Bane's one of the ones that I'm not too familiar with. I'm still going to get caught up on Rebels. I've seen it in that a bit, but yeah.
Okay.
Claude was looking at a vote. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we should check him out in the Bad Batch. Like he's actually pretty awesome in that too. But yep, Cad Bane moves on. So up next we got Wedge Antilles against Darth Maul. Well, Ross, you're up first.
Maul.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going up against a bit of a juggernaut, so I got to go Maul.
Yeah.
Malcolm?
Just because I think I know what's going to happen, I'm just going to say Reg.
I'm going to go Maul as well.
Well, at least Wedge got some love, but sorry, Wedge. Been struck down.
As I said, I knew what was going to happen when I saw that.
Yep. Right. So up next we got Darth Vader, the heavy hitter, going up. Ooh, against Han Solo though. You never know, anything's possible. And I guess I'm up first, huh? And I think that we said it before that Darth Vader is the best villain in any movie period, not just Star Wars. I mean, any movie period. So I got to go with Darth Vader. Malcolm.
Keep in mind, it's not Anakin.
Yep. Two separate characters.
Also, keep in mind the Han Solo scene in Rise of Skywalker doesn't count either. Not Han.
Yes, it does. It's a memory.
Han.
Still counts. Yeah, it still counts.
Han.
Look, this is tough, but I'm going to cause chaos and go Han Solo.
Oh no.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see. Evan?
I'm going Vader.
All right. Vader.
It will come down to you and the burden of making the decision of separating Anakin and Vader. The burden is also going to come down to you because this should be a slam dunk for Darth Vader, but Darth Vader was Frankensteined, and so Han Solo is kept whole as his entire character, and so Han Solo I am picking. So you get the choice now.
You're going with Han Solo. Almost thought you were going to switch it up on me.
No, I'm going with Han. But I understand you will probably go with Vader.
Yeah, this one's tough. This one's another one where I'm right on the fence with it, but I think I got to stick with it. I got to go Vader. So yeah, Darth Vader's moving on. So sorry, Han. But so up next we got the Mando going up against and that one was
yeah.
So yeah. So yeah.
It's
so
Mando against no one.
Yeah, right. Against no one gets a free pass. But yeah. So Malcolm, you're up first.
Look, we lost Palpatine earlier, so I'm going to go for the second Palpatine, Snoke.
All right, Evan.
I'm going Mando.
Okay.
Yeah, Mando definitely.
Yeah, I got to go Mando too. I mean, Snoke is a great Frankenstein for Star Wars, but I got to go Mando. So Mando moves on, and then next up we got Rey going up against C-3PO. Ooh, interesting. So it'll be Evan first.
3PO, far and away though. I got to give it to him.
Right.
Best Rey.
I adore 3PO, but I'm going to give it to Rey.
Yeah, I would say the exact same thing. I adore 3PO, but I got to give it to Rey. I'll just echo it exactly. So Rey.
Come on, Malcolm. Come on, Malcolm.
Go with your heart.
Yeah, I mean, as for favorite character, I kind of would go one way, but I'm going to go for impactful character, and that's Rey.
Sorry. Yeah, but Rey.
It's a tough part of the bracket, though.
Yeah, it is. Very tough.
Yeah, one half of this was all hard matches. The other one was just easy.
Yeah, right. Yep, exactly. So,
hey, I don't mean to cut this short. I just got a text from my wife, and I do have to leave right now.
All right.
Go pick her up. I'm sorry to cut that off so short after losing.
No, you're fine.
I can do this last one. I'll do this.
Yeah,
this last one.
Sure, we could do the last one, and then we'll let you head out. But we got Kanan versus Qui-Gon. Ooh,
you can leave, Evan.
Two great masters, Jedi masters.
Who starts this one?
So this one goes. We'll let Evan go first. Since
yes.
Yeah.
You just changing the rules. Give him the hammer twice in a row.
We're going Qui-Gon, baby.
Qui-Gon.
We're going Kanan. Lives a little longer to actually train his apprentice a little fuller.
True. And I'll go Kanan as well. So
they both got one by the same person too. I just realized.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good point.
Weird.
Malcolm.
Yeah, I mean, they both have the connection of one was trained by Obi-Wan, the other trained Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gotta go Kanan. Like, I like Qui-Gon. He's one of my favorite characters in Phantom Menace, but he's just in the Phantom Menace essentially. So,
sorry, Evan.
That's fair. You know, I earned that. It's all right. Well, hey,
but with that, do you have anything you want to promote real quick, or let us know where we can find you?
Look me up on Twitter. I got a weird ass name, so Evan Bushkar. It's
all right.
Don't find it somewhere. Just look me up. I post everything I do there. I do drawings. I do cartoons. Sometimes I do short films. I do podcasts. I do all kinds of stuff. So at Evan Bushkar on Twitter. Just look me up.
Cool.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
It's
been great.
How it ends up, but yeah, we'll see. Have a good one.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Yeah. All right, and then there were three.
Alrighty. Which ones are next?
We have Luke Skywalker versus R2D2. So we're gonna give it to Ross first.
I love R2D2, but Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's tough because I mean R2D2 is awesome, but it's Luke. You got to go with Luke like all day.
Yeah. Both top 15.
Yeah, right. Malcolm.
Yeah, it's going to be Luke one way or the other. So Luke.
Yeah. Yep. Luke moving on. Let's see. So the next matchup, we got General Grievous going up against General Hux. We got two generals, so and I'm up first. So for this one, I gotta go General Grievous. I just think he's just so much cooler. Just like I don't know, like he has 4 lightsabers. I mean, come on. So I'm gonna go with that. But Malcolm.
I mean, one of these people got defeated by a Your Mama joke, so I'm going General Grievous.
I still want to go with Thrawn. I still want to go with Thrawn. I'm still mad that he got beat by Grievous, but yeah, I'll go with Grievous over Hux for sure.
I'm with you on Thrawn, man. Yeah, but yeah.
Grievous.
So General Grievous moves on. So let's see where we're at. So that's the end of that round. So we are into, I believe, the Sweet 16 of the tournament. So I'm gonna have to kind of zoom it out just a little bit. Let's see. These brackets can get a little finicky when it comes to navigating, but the next matchup we have, let's see, it's not going to be that one yet.
Oh my god, that one's going to be.
Yeah, we got Yoda versus Obi-Wan. Here we go. So we're going to start with Malcolm. So who you got?
Of course, you start for me on probably one of the hardest.
Yeah, it gets harder and harder.
That's what she said. But anyway, I've got to go Yoda. I like both these characters, but Yoda has moves on.
This is not fair because they're both top 5 characters in my opinion. But Yoda is my favorite character, and I can argue this till the cows come home. So Yoda moves on.
Well, I would have given some love to Obi-Wan just because like he's one of my favorite characters. I just think that like he's so wise and he's been put into so many different situations. Like he's been the master, he's been the apprentice, he's been thrust in and out of like so many situations. But But yeah, I got to go with Obi-Wan. But even with that, Yoda is moving on. So you got Yoda moving to the Elite Eight, and then going up against Sabine. Let's see. Wait.
Does
No.
Sabine Sabine
No.
versus Chewbacca. Have we not done that? Is
Sorry.
that how it worked?
Yeah. Let me.
I think I know what
through
he's done here. He moved Sabine over by
Yeah, this thing's a little finicky.
That makes
So
sense.
here we go. So our picture's gonna be there, but we're still voting Chewbacca versus Sabine. So we may end up replacing it, but yeah, we'll go with Ross first. Who you got?
Chewbacca.
Yeah, I would have gone with Chewie as well. Malcolm.
Chewbacca.
Yeah, so Chewbacca's the one going through. So there we go. So yeah, up next we got Princess Leia going up against Hondo. And Hondo's been a bit of a dark horse in this, like making it so far. So I believe I'm up first, and this one's a little easier. I got to go with Leia. Malcolm?
Leia.
This is where it ends, Hondo. Leia.
Yep. You had a good run, Hondo, but yep, it is Leia. And then next up we have Grogu going up against Anakin. Woo. All right, so you're first, Malcolm.
I mean, I like both of these characters, but I'm going to have to go Grogu.
Yep, this one's tough, but
this is really tough, and once again, I don't like it on the basis of I think Anakin and Vader are one and the same. But even still, as much as there's separation here, and as much as I adore Grogu, even still at this level, I still am going to go Anakin. Although that's going to cause problems later in this bracket,
right,
and causes problems in my soul at the moment.
It causes problems, yeah. For the
having two of the same character,
exactly
still in it, but I'm going to still say Anakin.
Yeah, and for as much hate as we're gonna probably get in the comment section for our poll tomorrow, I got to go with Anakin. I think he's just a way more complete character, has like an amazing story arc. So I'll go with Anakin. And so with that, Anakin is moving on. So that'll be the end of that bracket. So moving pretty quickly with the end of that side. So let's see where we're at here. All right. So we got Cad Bane going up against Darth Maul. Ooh. All right. So I believe Ross, you're up first.
Maul.
Yep. Yeah, this one's tough for me, but I gotta go.
Love Cad Bane,
Maul, I think. Yep, same. I'll go Maul. Malcolm?
Maul.
Yep. So
just a deeper character.
Maul moves through. Yep, he is. A lot deeper. So then we'll move on. We got Vader going up against the Mandalorian. And I'm up first. I gotta go Darth Vader all day here. So Malcolm?
I gotta go Vader. I like the Mandalorian show, but I actually not a big fan of the actual character of the Mandalorian, ironically.
Yeah.
I love the Mandalorian. I think this is. I don't love him maybe as much as Grogu, but I think this is the same conversation as Anakin versus Grogu, and in that same vein, I'm also going to vote for Vader, and Vader moves on.
Yep. Vader moves on, clean sweep. So, all right. So we got Rey going up against Kanan. Ooh, this one's kind of interesting. So, so I believe that it's Malcolm. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm going to go Rey.
Rey, okay.
Rey's great, but Kanan is one of the most. He's an ultimate Jedi. His story is incredible. I love Kanan. Best death in Star Wars, probably. Kanan.
Yeah. And for me, I got to go with Kanan. also just like an amazing story. Just like, I mean, I never thought that I would actually like get so emotional over a Star Wars cartoon, but I did, and Kanan was a big part of that, so I got to go with Kanan.
Yeah.
So, but after that matchup, we have one more person finish it off. We have my usual co-host Austin.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, what's going on, guys? This this little 3-person panel is looking a little sad, so I figured I have to jump in and help you guys out a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, and I want to let the Star Wars panelists I didn't get to talk to know that the rough draft was my fault. I'm not a big Clone Wars or Rebels fan or whatever. So that's why there was a lack of those characters. Sorry, that's my fault.
Yeah.
Not Jordan's.
That's all good. This has been a lot of fun. Star Wars arguing is my favorite.
Well, I figured we would throw that in there. You guys would add what needed to be added, and then we go from there. So there you go.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
And I kind of evened it out. I actually added a bunch of like Rebels character after I got the list. So.
All right, where are we at? I had to drop out for a second so I could drop in. So where are we at?
All right, so
determining our final 4 here. What are you doing?
We're almost at the Elite 8. We're just finishing up the Sweet 16. So
Gotcha. All right.
We got Luke Skywalker going up against General Grievous, and Ross is up next. So.
Well, you didn't need me for that one.
Right.
Luke Skywalker.
Pretty dope. Yeah.
Easy one.
This one might be one of the easiest ones. Luke all day. So.
Yeah,
Austin?
Luke, whatever. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Malcolm.
Yeah, Luke.
Yep. So Luke moves on, and I believe that's the end of that side. So now we're to the Elite 8. So you'll get to see what we got here for our Elite 8, Austin.
I mean, I've been listening, so I'm pretty well versed on it. So yeah.
Okay. Right on. Yeah. So up first we got, and let me zoom it out here. We got Yoda versus Chewie. So
wow.
And I'm up first. So this one's tough, but for as much as I love Chewbacca, I got to go with Yoda. I mean, Yoda is just an awesome character. So, and probably the most wise character almost in this whole bracket. So, Austin.
Chewie, because he'll choke out anybody, and physically, not with the Force. So Chewie.
Right. Malcolm.
Yoda.
All right. Ross.
Yoda had a mini heart attack there. Yoda.
Almost. Yep. But he moves on. So Yoda moves on. And then next up, we got Princess Leia going up against Anakin. All right. So Austin, you're up first.
I had to be up for that one.
Yep.
He's grown on me a lot over the years, so I'll vote Anakin, actually.
Yeah. Malcolm?
Leia.
Leia, right. Ross?
For the same reasons that I picked Han over Vader, I will pick Leia over Anakin in the sense of by dividing that character, it makes it much easier because you're not able to get the full arc, whereas Leia has such an incredible arc, and Leia is easily one of the best characters in Star Wars on her own, and so Leia over Anakin. Yeah,
so for as much love that I have for Leia, like she has my favorite music in Star Wars. Leia's theme is just awesome. I get emotional every time that I hear it, but I got to go Anakin just because of his arc. Like I think
he doesn't have what arc though. That's the thing. You chose to have both Anakin and Vader in here, and you want to have Anakin and Vader in the top 4. You got to make up. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Here, I'm gonna.
Sure you can. Why the fuck not?
But it comes down to like right up until he becomes.
Well, then you're gonna have Anakin versus Vader in the end.
Sweet, sounds good. We'll vote on that.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah.
So who's it up to for the tiebreak anyway?
So it's actually Austin. So whoever goes first.
Oh shit!
We're giving the tiebreaker.
Well, it's a good thing you had me to be this. It's a good thing you had me to be this contrarian. Otherwise, you would have all these clean sweeps. It would have been boring.
Right.
And guess what? I'm going to keep it interesting. Put Anakin through. Let's do this.
Oh, all right. Might have Anakin versus Vader. Then maybe.
Damn right.
Maybe we'll see.
Hey, look, Princess Leia's still in the poll. She's still in the 8. So I mean, of course she makes.
Yeah, right.
You can vote on her tomorrow. It's all good.
in the Elite Eight, but yeah, we're gonna.
This is the essence of tournament fights: is unpredictability and crazy shit happening. This is what we do.
Exactly. So we got Darth Maul versus Darth Vader. So it'll be Malcolm first. Getting tough.
I mean, yeah, this is, but I mean, we've had Anakin move on, so I'm going to be trimmed to get Maul through now.
All right, Ross.
Yeah, I think that it's this is a tough one. I think Maul has it. Maul has an arc, and I think Vader's arc is limited. As much as Vader is, I think collectively as a unified character, but fragmented. I pick Maul over just Vader.
Yeah, and this one's tough for me as well, just because I think we're just
it's a mistake. Sorry, I have to pick Vader. I can pick Leia. Okay. Pick Leia over Anakin. I can't pick Vader over Maul.
It counts, okay. Jordan. He got it in before you got your vote.
Right,
so
right.
The switch counts.
It counts. Yep. But the thing is that we're just talking the movies and the TV shows only. I feel like the lightsaber skills from Darth Maul are actually superior to Darth Vader's lightsaber skills. But as far as the Force goes, though, like when nobody matches Darth Vader when it comes to his skills with the Force. So I mean, it's a tough call, but I think, oh man, just because like I kind of don't want to see it, just to switch it up, I'm actually gonna go Darth Maul.
I will say Maul was afraid of Darth Vader, so like deathly afraid of him, so that he couldn't even stand it. Like
true. But I'm gonna. Yeah, you're right. Like I'm the same way. Like that is a bit of a mistake. Like it's like so tough. I'm actually gonna go Vader. I'm gonna switch my vote.
I was about to say, Jordan, are you gonna vote against the guy who you said was your #1 villain in movie history?
Yeah,
you're gonna vote against him? Come on, Jordan, don't betray that.
I gotta be true to myself, right?
Yeah. And it's Vader. Yeah, Vader. I vote for Vader. Put Vader through.
Put Vader through.
Damn, I was hoping it was going to be a tie, so I could cause chaos.
I know, right? I caused chaos in the last round. Malcolm can cause a little chaos. Yeah, let's throw it around a little bit.
Yeah. So next up we have Kanan going up against Luke Skywalker. Ooh, and Ross, you're up first.
I adore Kanan. Kanan is one of the best characters in Star Wars, but he is not Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker is. We all know the way the world blew up in the end of Mando season 2. That's all you need to know. The hate people have for The Last Jedi and the love people have for The Last Jedi is all you need to know. It's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. Well, for me, like I have so much love for Star Wars Rebels, and normally I would go for Luke Skywalker, but I just like don't like what they did with the character in episodes 7, 8, and 9. They just made him into a total recluse that just like doesn't care about like the Force, doesn't care about anything that's really going on. He might care deep down inside of himself on the surface level. Like he had a lightsaber, he just chucked it over his back, and also like everyone wanted to see an awesome lightsaber battle with Luke Skywalker. We never freaking got that. So like I'm a little bitter about that. So I'm gonna go with Kanan. Austin.
As I said when I came in here, I don't watch the Star Wars cartoons. This is Luke.
All right, fair enough. Well, I would recommend Rebels to anyone. Like it's as good as like any Star Wars movie. But Malcolm.
I do watch the Star Wars cartoons. So I'm still going Luke.
Yep. All right, fair enough. Well, then Luke it is. But I give a little love to Kanan. So, all right. So, are we done to the final four? Is it?
I think it's the final four now.
Yeah. So let's zoom it out. Let's see if we get some.
Who's going to the championship?
If we get a crazy final of like the same character almost. No,
I can't see it on my tiny screen phone, so you'll just have to say what they are because I can't see a thing.
I mean, even on the computer, it's actually really hard to see.
Yeah. The first matchup we have Yoda versus Anakin is what it is. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So and it's my turn first, and man, this one's tough, just because like I think that like Yoda, and then kind of becomes a bit of a recluse himself. He just goes to a swamp on Dagobah to just like live out the rest of his life. But he is 900 years old, so he's probably he is at the end of his life, as we see in Return of the Jedi. So I mean, it kind of makes sense. You want to settle down somewhere. So you know what? I gotta go Yoda on this one. So, Austin,
I'm here to cause chaos, Anakin.
All right.
I mean,
what about you in, but Malcolm?
I mean, my, this here Anakin guy, maybe Vader someday later, but for now he's just a small fry. I'm gonna go Yoda though. I'm gonna kiss him goodbye.
All right.
Well, Ross? Okay. Now, Yoda is my favorite character, but I'm now changing my tactics to align with the game that we are playing in a different capacity.
Right.
And
you want to see it. You want to see it.
Well, the thing is, I don't want to see it, but I do want to see it in the same way that I now want to make this game the metaphor for the character that I actually do fundamentally believe is the best character in Star Wars. I believe the best character in Star Wars is Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader. They are one and the same. They are what makes the entire sprawling saga what we know it as. And so I want to see Anakin going up against Darth Vader in the end here, the same way that every day Anakin in his head is fighting Anakin versus Darth Vader. And so while Yoda may be my favorite character, let's put the one character that is the best as the final two, Anakin versus Darth Vader. Anakin's going to get my vote here. And let's see. Hopefully, I've convinced you to make Anakin win this one so that we can have Vader win the next bracket. And then ultimately, both sides of the same mind will fight it out at the end. So,
but that's up to Malcolm to possibly change his vote for the tiebreaker because it doesn't go to him.
It does. That's why I'm doing such a hard sell job.
Do it, Malcolm. Come on, let's make it interesting. Let's have some fun.
Do what must be done.
I'm not changing my tactics. I'm going to my heart and go Yoda.
My
heart is
going to make it easy.
Yeah.
You're going to make it too easy in the finals then. Come on now.
It'll be too easy, but
shame on you.
It's all right, though. But you made the final four, so we can have the debate in the Facebook group tomorrow. But but yeah, we got Luke versus Darth Vader, so it was very well. It could have been the final matchup of the whole thing if they would have been on opposite brackets, but over here they're on the same side. So yep, it goes to
Malcolm, I think.
What are you, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Austin went first on the Anakin Yoda battle.
I thought George went first on that one. I thought he voted Yoda and I voted Anakin. Then we were Yoda Anakin. That's how it came down. Then it came down to Malcolm.
Yeah, so that means that technically I should have had the tiebreaker then, right? on that
I think it was Malcolm's turn in the tiebreaker. Though.
Yeah. But anyways, though, you're up first, Austin. Either way, so
I'm a guy who goes for villains at heart. So and the villains are just are the shit. These villains are just so much more cool. So and it's James Earl Jones, dude, Darth Vader.
Yep. And yeah, like. Just knowing,
yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Malcolm. Sorry, I'm like skipping everyone. You're up, Malcolm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear
you. Yeah. I froze for a little bit. I got to take my carbonite. but I've got to go Luke.
All right.
Yeah. If we don't have it, if we're not having Anakin in there, then I don't want Vader in there either. And so I'm going to vote Luke on this one. And when it comes to the hero versus the villain, the hero is who we are. We may want to be the mask, but we're just a child in a mask. Let's go with the hero versus his master.
Yeah, and just to have an interesting final, I think I'm going to go Luke this time, just because I think that Vader would annihilate Yoda. So for that reason, I got to go with Luke. So Luke moves on. We have our final, and first up will be Malcolm. So who you got here? Luke Skywalker versus Yoda.
In
the final.
This is really tough, but I'm going to have to go No, I'm gonna have to go Yoda. I think Yoda had probably a better arc over the series.
All right. We're just into the 3-hour mark. Can you get it in before the 3-hour mark, Ross?
Yeah, Yoda is my favorite character. I guess seeing as we can use any criteria to make our decision, I think Luke is the right decision in this moment between the two of them. But I'm gonna go back to deciding with my heart and not my brain, and I'm gonna go with Yoda.
All right. Man, this one's tough. Yeah. Because like in a lot of ways, like, well, not in a lot of ways, like in like most ways, Yoda trained Luke. So, so it's tough because I feel like once Luke went to go see Yoda on Dagobah, like he became such a badass afterwards. He was already kind of like getting there, but he wasn't fully there yet until he went to go train with Yoda. If it wouldn't have been for Yoda, I don't think Luke would be what he is today. So I'm gonna go with Yoda.
Come on, guys. Are you not remembering the moment that makes what Star Wars is when he's staring at the two suns? Are you kidding me? You're voting for Yoda? Like that is Star Wars. It is the hero's journey. Like it's the image. And come on, did you not like get teary-eyed when he showed up on The Mandalorian? I mean, come on, Yoda never had a moment like that ever. And you guys are voting for Yoda? Piss on you. I vote for Luke.
We could have.
I don't know. When Yoda showed up in The Last Jedi, I turned into a little kid again. But I never in a million years would I argue against somebody saying Luke Skywalker is the best character in Star Wars. He is.
All right, Yoda takes it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. So
hard fought battle.
I mean, like for me, Luke showing up.
Yeah. Well, Luke is like the clear like choice, kind of like Ross, like you said, like it's a choice you make with your brain, but when you go with your heart, like Yoda. So yeah, I'm the same exact way. Yeah. Yep, I'm right there with you. This has been a lot of fun. We just got to 3 hours. It's a long show.
Yeah,
it's not the longest we've ever done. But it is
no, we just did a near 4-hour show on the stand-up comedians the other night, and that was a marathon. Holy cow. That was
we had both of the movie guys, Adam and Paul on there, and then we had Peggy Gubbins. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. So, but
great group.
But yeah, so Yoda is our champion. So we're gonna see what the Facebook group thinks tomorrow. I'll kind of back out, but yeah, thanks a lot, Ross, for sticking all the way to the end with us. That was a long fought battle, long journey, but we did
thanks for having me on. This was a lot of fun, guys. Always happy to talk Star Wars, and so it was a great way to spend the evening. Yeah,
and probably at some point next year we'll probably do it again. We'll put in some of the characters that we missed from this time around.
We'll put in like every C-list character that wasn't on this list, and it'll be like a battle of the Star Wars, like in wrestling terms, the battle of the Star Wars mid-carders, like all the little like you know. Then you could put in your Salacious Crumbs and your Bib Fortunas and your
nice.
Neen Numbs and things like that. We'll just put all those guys in there, and then vote all the mid-carders. That'd be fun. Because you can do a whole another one with 64 of those cats.
Oh, definitely. I'd say Bail Organa is my favorite character. Not to make our bracket.
Well, he was in my rough draft. You guys voted him out. That's all.
Nice. No, he didn't make. He didn't even make any of the lists that I got to see, or I would have fought hard for him.
Yeah, he's one of the first cuts we had to make.
Come on, it's Jimmy Smits, man. You didn't vote that in?
Yeah. Sorry.
Guy who raised Leia.
Yeah, right. But
you can put like Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru in there. Who didn't make these. All those crazy characters. What's his name? Simon Pegg played. The 60 portions. You can put him in there. You can put. Literally next year. Get the same panel in.
Big Star.
Yeah, Biggs. Put 64 of those characters that didn't make the cut this time, and just have a little fun with some of those other folks. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, but with that, we'll just go run the the room. You can just if you have anything you want to promote, if you want to just tell us where we can find you. So we'll start with Malcolm. Where can we find you? Oh, you're
You
muted,
can
Malcolm.
find me on
Muted.
Tapey Productions, where I host late night every.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Fire away.
You can find me on Tapey Productions, where I host Rankum on Saturdays. This week we're talking about Disney live action and live action movies. You can find me on Late Night, where we're talking about adventure movies, and you can find me over on Formidor, where I host trivia matches all the time.
Yeah. And Austin, is there anything you want to promote?
This is so strange because like you look at the one with the panel we have now, it's like not even the same panel we had when you guys started the show. It's just so
totally
weird. We started and ended in two totally different places, but yeah, we have a podcast. Jordan and I and another guy, Chris Scott, have a podcast called Podcast League now. We're gonna try to film another episode in the next couple of days, hopefully, and then and I'll just promote the SNL show that Jordan and I do. We're gonna try to get another episode out this weekend. We're covering in this one we cover 2 episodes, episode 12 season 12 with Willie Nelson, and then we're going to cover a 2001 episode with Conan O'Brien to celebrate his retirement. So we talk about, if you like classic SNL, come check us out.
And Ross, where can we find you?
You can find me through the Schmodown, my Twitter handle, Ross from Nowhere. But primarily I do a podcast with my brother called Recorder 66. You can find us wherever you find any of your podcasts. Just talk about Star Wars, breaking things down by the particular piece of content or a particular topic.
Oh, nice. Awesome. And for me, you can find me all over the Movie Hero Network. We've got a couple of more episodes of tournament fights and an episode of our other kind of sister show, Tier Ranker Fights, which is in some ways the same, but kind of slightly different. Though you have to watch to see. But coming up on the next Monday, one of the fun things we did is that me and my 2 co-hosts we put our top 64 favorite movies of all time into the tournament of 64, and so now we're getting some response from the fan community. So if any of you guys ever want to put together a list of your top 64 favorite movies of all time, we'll put it through the tournament and we'll let everyone vote for those. So we have Jacob Barber coming up on Monday that we're going to be doing his top 64. So if you're interested, you can just shoot me a DM about that, and then a week from Friday we're going to be doing best alternative summer sports and movies in honor of the Olympics going on. So just anything that's not really like a mainstream sport. So we're not gonna have basketball, baseball, or football, and anything that's a winter sport. But besides that, any kind of like alternative, kind of weird, wacky, out there sports going to be fair game. If there's a movie about it, we're going to cover it. So
that's where I finally get to talk about Balls of Fury. I'm so excited.
Yeah, right.
So Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire for sure.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
That's where we get to talk about like Dodgeball or Over the Top or some of these crazy movies, that don't fit into like other categories. We're going to talk about it. It's going to be fun.
Pod racing and the Phantom Menace, guys. Come on.
Yeah, pod
racing. There you go. Yeah.
Right up against Days of Thunder. Yeah, right.
Yeah. But yeah, this has been a good time. So thanks again to all you guys for joining us. So for Malcolm, for Austin, for Ross, I've been Jordan, Movie Hero Anderson, and we will see y'all next time.